lawful to wager. FanDuel is offering on first online real money wager only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700. Visit KSGamblingHelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Help is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
Can you feel it? It's more than the chill in the air or the excitement of the holidays. At Heart Ministry Center, we call it the attitude of gratitude. Thanks to you, we're able to provide food, health care, and a way forward to people severely affected by poverty in Omaha. With matching funds available, now's the perfect time to give. Visit heartministrycenter.org/gratitude or sign up to tour or volunteer. Heart Ministry Center, dignity for all.
Dear Santa, I hope you are having a good day in the North Pole. Is it cold all the time there? Is that why our teachers are so rosy? My mom says I'm a good helper, but you didn't come last year. Was my chimney broken? I just really hope this year when I wake up, I'm gonna see that you came to my house too. Wow.
Donate and help the Marines deliver hope to a child in need.
Experience Omaha's first Indian restaurant and brewery. Jaipur has created delicious Indian food and brews, from the tandoori salmon to the chicken tikka makhani. Jaipur has something for every palate. 2 locations, Rockbrook and Dundee. Come see why Jaipur has been voted first place best of Omaha 18 years in a row.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
A crossover is
crossover dribble.
Sing for the crossover.
Kyrie Irving, crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time.
Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover.
Double crossover. The crossover continues to evolve.
All right, time for the crossover. It's brought to you by Every Little Concrete Repair in Omaha at everylittleconcrete.com. Tim Pavelka feeling good today. KP is back. Nebraska's back.
Bang-o-rang. Indeed. Good thing they didn't get canceled last week.
Okay, Josh, did you end up canceling them?
No, Connor wouldn't let me.
Yeah, and I was.
I heard all you guys fired.
Yeah,
Fred
we all.
I never fired Fred.
I mean, you should at least wait for 2 bad games in a row.
We were on the cusp. We looked at 60 minutes of really bad basketball, and I think we had him on cancel alert. I didn't know if Josh ended up canceling them later in the show.
He was going to. He had the full intent.
It.
He had the full intent.
So you almost pulled a Nebraska baseball on Nebraska basketball.
I had the wind up, and Connor said, "Wait, just let him get till Christmas."
Yeah, I was.
Welcome, Josh.
I was pretty close, and then I saw yesterday. I'm like, okay, live for another
they're
day.
Definitely a good team now.
You're welcome, Josh. Your life would be a living hell right now if I hadn't have stopped you.
My mentions would be.
I'd like the Michigan State coach's Air Jordan Retros, but I hated their quarter zips. That color was disgusting.
Okay, so when I saw pictures of it, like real life pictures,
they thought they were cycling.
They looked more highlightery than what they look like on TV. On TV, they were like a little duller for some reason.
Well, I don't like Michigan State when they wear all black.
Me neither.
They have a good looking road uniform.
Yeah, they do.
And they never wear them at
Nebraska.
Last time, they never wear them at Nebraska.
They wore that in Lincoln last year too.
Yeah, I know.
They all black with the Sparty
They
logo.
refused to have
But
normal
can we have
colors.
a discussion about
stupid
coaches?
Come on,
that
Izzo.
Spend the whole game on the floor. Like I went to the KU UConn game a couple weeks ago, and everybody has seen Hurley's act.
Yeah,
like it's even more prominent when you watch him in person because you watch him the entire game, and he's on the floor. He actually is the 6th man on the floor that they have to tell to get off the floor, and he whines about everything. Izzo is the same way. I don't know. I think Izzo gets like this major pass. I'm wondering what's so special about Tom Izzo in the later years of his career.
In the later years of his career, it doesn't matter.
Tom Izzo in March.
It doesn't matter.
He whines nonstop.
Tom Izzo in March.
I'm sure he's a good ambassador for the game, and he's a great representative compared to some of the past they've had at Michigan State.
It wouldn't matter if he was or wasn't. He's already won enough to get the lifetime pass.
The entire game.
Yeah,
he did the same thing last year.
Yeah, he did.
And I remember losing my mind because they had a play where that ran right in front of the Michigan State bench, and he was actually on the floor.
Yeah.
Like they could have passed him the ball. He could have taken a couple of dribbles, and then they got rid of it.
He was D'ing up Casey.
But him and Hurley, I mean, nonstop Remember when we used to have a coaching box?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that thing's laughable.
Hey, in Iowa, in high school, when I was in high school, you couldn't get up as a coach. You had to sit down. The only time you could get up was to like make a substitution or something.
Really?
You had to sit the entire time. Then we had a coach's box. Now we got guys that coach at mid-court.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the coach's box it's there because it's supposed to be. I don't think anybody really adheres to it.
When's the last time they missed the NCAA tournament?
Michigan State?
Yeah. Has it been more than...
Was that recently?
Well, I'm looking at it, and it appears to be more than 20 years.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So they will be good. They'll have that run in February.
Yep.
And then in March, and they'll make the tournament.
Our tough schedule hyped us
That's
up.
what they do every year.
Tom Izzo in March is a staple. That to me is overdone.
You were looking for your answer, and that's your answer.
1996, 1997.
There you go.
Magic Johnson was not there. Judd Heathcote was not there.
Just after
Tom
Magic.
Izzo was.
Mateen Cleaves.
His second season.
Now, he does have on record they're the last Big Ten team to win a national championship in basketball.
Speaking of Mateen Cleaves.
But nonstop.
I can't believe you're hating on Izzo. He's Izzo.
I don't. Well, that's fine. Okay?
January, February, Izzo.
Yeah, see that? The freaking you can't go up against the Michigan State and Tom Izzo team in March. I'm so tired of that.
He's got a bad senior class.
So
though.
tired of that.
Triggered.
Yeah.
Tyson Walker's good.
He's very good.
They got a bad senior class.
Tyson Walker, Nebraska tried to get him a couple of years ago.
Well, Nebraska got him last night.
They
Sam
did.
Hoiberg got him last night.
Yeah, I like their slapping the floor. Slap the floor. I'm gonna slap the floor.
They were floor slappers.
Michigan State slapping the floor.
Yeah. Sam Hoiberg running through screens just leveling people to get to him.
I love Sam Hoiberg.
You've been saying this for a long time.
I've been saying this for a long time. Thank you, Josh. He is one of the most important players on this team. I am dead serious. People laugh at me when I say it.
I heard the
defender.
I heard the play-by-play guy on TV last night say pretty much the exact same thing you've been saying towards the end of the game.
Every single time I watch them, he jumps out. Every single game.
He killed his own teammate last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He killed Boogie Coleman.
Yeah.
Boogie Coleman.
He's gone. Goodbye. That's fine. I was talking to somebody before the Creighton game. He's like, man, you think you get away with playing Sam Hoiberg for 20 minutes today? I'm like, hell yes, absolutely. I want that guy on the floor. I want him on the floor. He is the energy man. He's the guy. He makes plays too.
I just wonder if Fred was reluctant at times just because people are going to say, it's coach's kid. It's like, so he's got to earn it even more so than any other player just because you don't want the optics of you're just playing your kid.
Probably.
He's done more than enough for me to say, give him some minutes, especially as a defender.
It didn't really work that way for Creighton's all-time leading scorer, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't really.
After he got 3,000 points, people were like, he's
he's
only playing because he's Coach Mac's kid.
Yeah.
Some television networks think he's still there.
Yeah. Good job, Greg.
That is a thing.
And he's going to have his number lifted into the rafters
Coach
next
Doug
week.
McDermott, can you answer this question, please? It's still a thing. We were talking about that last week. We feel like that should be no longer a thing. They've gone on to lead their separate lives, and yet we still have but some people still have they make that mistake of calling Coach Mac Doug.
I think it's easy to make a mistake if we're just having a conversation right here. That's fine. Yeah. To put it on a graphic on the television, like you have to check that. Yeah. There's
Are we good on the ground, guy? Roll it.
Wait,
I think that says Doug. That's the coach, right? Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, go.
Well, wait till Doug grows up and he becomes head coach at Creighton. That's going to be really confusing.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's where you go to the default of Coach Mac.
That's what I'm talking about. And then he brings back Power by Kanye West.
I think he got canceled. I think Kanye got canceled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard that.
I think that's why it went away.
Okay.
Even though I do like that.
But maybe
song.
he'd be uncanceled. He'd uncancel it.
He's
Doug
there's a
McDermott.
possibility.
Would there be enough time to have passed?
He seems to be trending in the category of you will never be uncanceled.
Kanye?
These things ebb and flow.
You're saying he's not laying low?
Well, there's some people that are canceled. The next thing you know, they're back.
Yeah.
Morgan Wallen.
That's true. He's probably the most recent example.
He actually benefited.
He's
from
actually
being canceled.
bigger than he was before being canceled.
He's put out some bangers now,
Mm-hmm.
and he's dating
Will Levis's ex-girlfriend.
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
in London.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Aaron
He's a
Rodgers
looker.
broke up with his girlfriend, so Mallory is available. Josh.
There you go.
Blue Sky.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah,
No, it's the Milwaukee Bucks owner.
Oh,
the
yeah,
heiress?
yeah, the heiress.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's available, Josh.
Where's A-Raj go
She
to
appears
next?
to be very active on social media.
We've wondered about this for a long time on this show.
Where A-Raj goes to next?
Yep.
Yeah.
What happens with Rob?
He's with. There
Back with
is
Shailene.
it's a blonde. I think it's just an associate that he has been.
Oh, just a normal everyday
Just
gal.
an associate.
There's no like.
I thought you meant that's what he calls her.
Yeah.
No,
she's just an associate.
She's the associate.
I don't know. Does Alex Rodriguez strike you as a guy that might date somebody that is in charge of the produce at Hy-Vee?
No.
Which would be amazing.
They would.
Just a simple, average Jane or Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, why do we all have to
But
have
they just connect?
Like a major, 40 million IG followers to get into the ballpark with Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Well, you're
Sydney Sweeney.
You only have 40 million IG followers because you're hot.
Did you know who Sydney Sweeney is?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't until I
either.
was in Hudson News yesterday, and she's on like
Nice. I love Hudson.
What a
News.
pull.
She is in on 4 different covers. And
Yeah.
so I was not
she
up
is
to
everywhere.
speed on what she was in.
People of all ages are into Sydney Sweeney right now.
Euphoria would be
Yes.
the thing people know
And
her from.
she's got a movie coming out with Glenn Powell, I think, from Top Gun.
Glenn Powell.
And she went to
He's on
USC.
because he's on a cover of a men's magazine.
They're rumored to be dating.
Oh,
Excuse me?
Oh, okay.
What a rumor.
Good for him and her, I guess.
Well, he stole my.
No, good for him.
Yeah. I'm going to look at it through those optics.
Sydney. Yeah. She's everywhere right now.
She's like Hansel. She's so hot right now.
so hot right now.
So hot.
Yeah, I never seen Euphoria though, and I would assume that most people also haven't seen.
I have
Euphoria.
not, no.
I've been
Yeah.
told by many that I could not handle it. So,
Whoa,
what is that supposed to
yeah,
mean?
what does that mean? Like you mentally?
a lot of I've read many articles that say if you have a child, don't watch Euphoria.
Oh.
Because you'll think your child is doing everything in this show, and you'll never let them out of the house.
It's kids doing bad things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Sydney Sweeney doing bad things?
These kids
too?
got problems.
Guaranteed.
Okay. I might watch.
Wow. Maybe Sydney Sweeney's parents could buy her a shirt.
Why? I mean, I think if you
Get that woman a shirt.
I don't know if she needs a shirt. Do I want to look at a magazine that has somebody that is clothed?
Just wearing
Like
a
Glenn
shirt.
Powell is on this magazine, and him and I used to pose when you'd see like American Eagle. They have those big billboards
Oh,
of
yeah.
shirtless guys.
Yeah.
How we posed with our hips.
Yeah.
I noticed he's posing the same way.
Oh, okay. So he's doing a model pose.
What's up with 1620 being so horny lately? What's up with this?
What is it? Was there another story?
What's going on? Well, I got the horny tweet this morning from the horny Twitter account.
I'm sorry, what?
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
You're a sexual male.
The horny tweet?
Bonk Team 6.
What?
You're the one in a stadium with
Sexual performance.
Right above
Sexual
your head.
performance.
How was it?
Well, I mean, that's up for other people to decide, I suppose.
No, I think you should grade yourself.
Are you talking about Jay's life?
Are you good
Was
self-evaluated?
that were you fully hussed?
No.
Okay, so you were flaccid, so it wasn't a good show. How do we get better before Alabama?
Did you say you wanted to go to the Wiener Factory at some point today?
Okay, so in
yeah.
Sioux City, there's the Milwaukee Wiener House. It is not a strip club.
Oh, I've heard you talk about this.
Yeah, so it's a little hot dog. It's a hot dog specialty.
That'd be better
place.
if it was a strip club, though.
Yeah.
If it doubled as a strip club.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't speak for the other gentleman on this radio station about your horniness, and that's your own. If you want to talk about it, go ahead. There's places for that. But I didn't know if that's that time of the year. Like, do we need to do an OnlyFans.com
No.
site of just 1620 listeners? And
No.
Okay.
No, that doesn't seem like the solution.
Yeah.
What's the other evidence that
We do have
what's the
a
horny tweet from
I
this
don't know.
morning?
We have
Yeah.
we
What is
have
this
a
horny tweet?
listener that does have an OnlyFans.com account.
Do we?
Yeah, she's apparently been on there for a couple of years.
Oh.
Yikes.
Well, all right then.
Well, congratulations.
I hope
Yeah.
she's making a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Lucrative.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to hustle.
Would we be the first radio station to do an OnlyFans.com collaborative?
There's no way.
I'm just trying to think how that would go.
How would I even Google that?
Well, I mean,
Be careful.
we'd be placing my head on a lot of nice looking bodies.
Yeah, but then you'd be misleading the shareholders.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah. That would be called fraud.
What do you think this is on the TuneIn app? Live OnlyFans radio.
Oh, radio.
OnlyFans radio?
Discussing what kind of content gets you to subscribe.
I mean, they're just reading Penthouse Forum letters, right?
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah. This quivering mount of love
I
punch.
never thought this would happen to me.
Which, when I was 10 years old, would be great radio. I would hide in my bedroom to listen to that stuff.
Yikes.
Little Gary, what are you doing down there?
Get a comment here from the amazing Daniel. 1620 hasn't been this horny since Severe had a show.
He still does it. Well, I guess football season's over for Nebraska.
Yeah.
I'll just leave that one alone.
Okay.
I'll just, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Nope. Well, that got awkward.
Wow.
It's kind of quiet.
I'm
now
not
hit the studio.
I'm not the one who brought up having OnlyFans for 1620 the zone.
What about Nick Grimm? That'd be a perfect spot for him to create content for.
He loves content.
Yes. You know, you probably got to push it a little bit to get the money you want.
Yeah.
But I do understand that people are making a lot of money on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would rather make money gambling.
Yeah, I think that would be a better
hustle
for you.
How's that working out for you?
You know, I mean, 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you ain't losing money.
Yeah.
It's a win.
You know, I went 62% in college pick'em.
Congratulations. That is above the norm. Usually the good gamblers at 57. Didn't I go perfect this week, 4-0? I think I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
In 4-quarter pick 'em?
I believe I went
so I'm
1,
in
2,
last,
and 1.
So that moves me up to like 6th.
You were in last?
Yeah, I won it last year.
There needs to be a punishment.
I think it's down to Josh
no,
and Jimmy.
Yeah.
If I got nothing for winning last year, why should there be a punishment for losing this year?
Okay, so
That's
give
true.
the
It's a
winner
wash.
something. Give the winner something.
It's a wash. Maybe I didn't go 4-0.
No.
Did I go 1-4?
Navy plus 2.5. What was the final there?
It was definitely a 3-point game.
Buccaneers plus 1. What was the final there? I don't follow the NFC South. I know they're all tied at 6 and 7.
Army won 17-11, by the way.
Okay, that's an L. The Eagles
Maybe
plus
it was driving.
3.5.
How do you run that? How do you run a
yeah,
two quarterback sneak?
The Eagles did not cover the 3.
Eagles got squashed.
Bucks plus 1, Saints plus 5.5.
All right, so it was a rough day.
You got the Saints right though.
Nice job, Gary.
I think I got the
Thank
Broncos
you.
right yesterday.
They hate Derek Carr, but I love my Saints.
Is this a typo by me? Saints plus 5.5.
No.
It's got to be right.
No,
There's no way the Panthers were a
the
road.
Panthers
Yeah,
were not.
the Saints were.
Saints were minus 5.
All right,
Yeah,
so
they
it's
were
your
minus.
problem, but I still win.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice job, Gary. Congratulations.
Yes. I feel a lot better now.
You can go back to talking smack about Izzo now. Jeez.
He's not a whiner?
Respect.
I have no problem with the Izzo.
Respect.
With the
Coach
Izzo. talk.
No.
Because
I
there's
don't.
a-
I don't give my elders a pass if all of a sudden they become a douche canoer.
You don't
Become cranky?
respect your elders.
He's not Ed Cooley.
Just because my grandpa all of a sudden is just like in his 60s, I don't like to say, oh, it's just funny grandpa. He's lost his mind.
Yeah.
No, I hold him to a standard.
You do?
Yeah.
Because most people are like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
funny grandpa.
No, I hate that.
You never know what's going to come out of that guy's mouth.
I hate that. You never know what the old people are going to say. No.
Did I just hear something that they said something very racist? It's just grandpa. What are you going to do?
So you're saying that it's a conscious choice for Tom Izzo to be a complainer?
I have felt this about him. There are a lot of good things he does, but man, his actions on the floor, especially when it comes to being in PBA, are too much.
Now, if you're Tom Izzo,
He's on the floor. He's whining all the time.
You're Tom Izzo. You know that you're gonna get some calls because you're Tom Izzo. So why not use the fact that you're Tom Izzo?
It worked for Mac. It doesn't work for Fred. Fred has to kick the scores table and he gets nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he got
Except for a
Tominaga technical.
Except for a bill from the
true.
athletic department as
Yeah.
you put out one of the advertising panels.
They were worried about that, by the way.
One of the bulbs.
They were concerned.
It was loud.
They were like, we're
Like,
going to
you
come
could-
down and
You
fix
could
that.
hear that he kicked it.
Yeah. And that was at the exact same time that Tominaga hucked
Yes.
the ball against the
Yep.
basket.
Yeah.
And then said,
We
my bad,
forgot
coach.
about that.
My bad,
That
coach.
Sunday did not exist.
It didn't?
No.
I remember it.
Pissed off Fred's fun.
What day
though.
were you Husker guy or
I told you I was
Jay guy?
wearing a
then?
gray shirt.
You're a neutral guy.
Gray shirt. It said 1620 the zone on it, actually.
Oh, okay.
I love 1620 the zone.
Which is the home of the Creighton Blue Jays.
That's
People did
true.
not know.
That's true.
You can hear
draw
John
that
out in
conclusion
Vegas
if you'd
on
like.
Wednesday. Yeah.
That is true.
John in Vegas.
It is not the home of the Huskers.
Not the home of the Huskers. That's true.
You should have worn an Mavs like jersey.
That would have been neutral.
That would have been completely neutral. I think Omaha Athletics is like Switzerland in this town.
Yep.
Oh, everybody. I don't like Nebraska, but I like Omaha.
Yeah, but
it's true. No, it's very true.
Aren't they? I mean, they're pretty closely associated with the University of Nebraska.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody like a Creighton or Nebraska fan
gosh.
say, "Oh, I can't stand Omaha." Never heard that.
Yeah.
You know, you want a prime example? So I'm on this kick. So the Nebraska men's basketball staff have these great looking quarter zips.
Love quarter zips.
Like they're all like well built guys. They all look like basketball players.
The white ones or the red ones?
The red ones.
Okay, yeah.
So they don't wear them like during games, but they look really, really sharp. And so I'm on this kick, and this started with Trev, and I didn't know the backstory of Omaha. I said to Trev, because I remembered that Omaha hockey once wore red jerseys, red sweaters, red breezers, red gloves, red helmets. It was a great look. And then they would wear white sweaters at home with the red breezers. I said to Trev, why doesn't Omaha Athletics wear more red? And he like went at me. He goes,
that's not for us.
He goes, there's only one school in this state that wears red, and that's not us. Like he was serious, and I'm like, I was like, but it looks really, really. No, he was like, get the heck out.
You're asking Trev about the right things too, because that's right up his alley.
Yeah,
that's in his wheelhouse.
So
brands, colors, seriously.
So these red quarter zips, all the coaches look great in them. And so I said to Crutch, I said, gosh, an alternate uniform that has the old pointy Mav logo.
Trev is going to murder you.
Red.
Yep.
He's like, Adrian won't let us.
Yeah.
And I said, is this, he goes, not going to happen. And I'm like, they look good in red. I mean, Nebraska's transitioning to more black.
They are. That's true.
I wish. Why can't Omaha wear
Wait
more
a
red?
minute. No, they're not.
I wish they were. That was my subtle little.
Baseball
I wish
is
they wear more black.
Well, I guess on Sundays.
No.
Well, you remember, like, so the first time the Nebraska Athletics wore black uniform was Danny Nee pulled them out in Ames against Iowa State.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
they
people
were
are like, "Oh, that's so cool."
Yeah, they were.
And
cool.
then I think they won, so it was cool. And periodically, the black shorts for volleyball would come out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're right. When Trev got there, he was like, "Nope, we're all going to be
wearing the same damn things,
scarlet and cream, and we're going to wear red and we're going to wear white. No more black."
Hell yeah, Trev. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't like the coffee stain whites that they had yesterday. You know,
no,
it looks like they have coffee.
I like those jerseys, but if they didn't have poop all over,
yeah, it does. It looks like a soiled pair of underwear, and they've got
you
they
can't
got
tell from the main camera view, but then when they zoom in on a person, it's like, what are those
it looks
brown
like
things?
You put some coffee right here, and it dripped all the way down, and you've got
KU
stripes.
has a jersey like that as well.
Adidas.
Yeah, it's an Adidas thing. Where they go off white, then they go like sort of off brown.
That's the other thing,
very,
Gary,
very odd accent.
with your idea about UNO, whatever. Do you trust Adidas to be able to do this correctly?
No,
you're right about the all red hockey look was pretty sweet.
So
it just said Nebraska.
One quick thing on
once in a
Adidas and everybody's favorite quarterback in America, Patrick Mahomes.
Hall of Fame.
I've been very good today.
Let's play. Let us play.
Let's put a bullet in Kadarius Toney.
The guy's an idiot. Okay, not Patrick Mahomes, but Mr. Tony.
He's cost us 2 games this year.
That has been boiling. Okay, so he let 13 games out yesterday.
Yeah, he took it out of the
He gets a
officials.
pass because that's out of character.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys won't give him a pass, but that's okay. I'm a Chiefs fan. You're not.
No, you're the face of the league. Take the L.
Also, Gary putting words in our mouths. Just wait. We'll see. We'll see what we have to say.
No, I know what you're going to say. I've seen your social media activity.
Whoa. I haven't tweeted about Mahomes.
Your partner here has.
Oh.
That's okay.
Once again, Josh giving me a bad rap.
That's okay.
Classic.
So at Texas Tech, have you ever been to Lubbock? Nick's been to Lubbock.
Never in my life.
Okay, so you fly into Lubbock.
No, I don't.
It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
You can't see downtown Dallas from Lubbock, but you're pretty damn close because it's so flat. But when you come down the elevator to go to the baggage claim, there's 2 gigantic murals. One of like the Texas Tech baseball team doing a dog pile after making it to Omaha, and then Patrick Mahomes when he was the quarterback there, wearing number 5, but he's in the Under Armour jersey.
Oh yeah.
This is the last year of Under Armour at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Because Mahomes has gotten him Adidas deal.
Okay.
Which is smart. I mean, there's fewer and fewer schools. So this huge mural in the airport is going to have to be changed.
Yeah. He can't.
They're
Yeah,
going to have to put a Adidas logo.
he can't be
on it.
affiliated with Under Armour. No.
On
They're not paying his
September,
bills.
They'll just have to put him in his Chiefs gear up there, even though those
Yeah.
are Nike jerseys.
On
That's
September 1st, we asked 2 poll questions about Lubbock. Is Lubbock getting large? 64% of the audience said no. And do you mind Lubbock? 54% of the audience said no. Don't mind Lubbock.
I feel like you
That's
talk about
fine,
Lubbock
It was
a lot,
fine.
Yeah.
actually.
It was okay.
You
was
and Lubbock kind
You
of.
know what? I was okay with Lubbock.
Yeah, I didn't hate Lubbock.
It's in the middle of nowhere. You're like 5 hours from Dallas.
That's a long time.
Yes, it is. The weather isn't bad. It's all about Texas Tech. They love their Red Raiders.
Aren't you like 5 hours from civilization?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
But it's all about the Red Raiders. So I've gotten to know this after being down there numerous times of late. Really, to be in Lubbock, you have to be a West Texan. Like all of their coaches either have a connection to Texas Tech or they talk like a West Texan. Like Garrett McGuire's dad, Joey, who has a definite connection to West Texan. Texas, he talks like a West Texan. He was doing, they had a press conference because they're going to the bowl game this week. And I'm like, yeah, Lubbock is it's a unique place.
It is.
I thought when I remember going down there for football outside of the interstate game, which Mike Leach hung on Nebraska, and the Jordan Adams game, or Bo Davis.
Yep. 70-10.
I didn't mind going to games there. It's a unique stadium. It was like, they keep adding to it. They're doing this huge project on the stadium. But I didn't mind trips to Lubbock for football.
I'll always remember Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree.
Yep.
At that place.
They had game day there and everything against Texas. Yeah.
Well, okay, so going back, this is a little bit before your time. So Nebraska went down there and played on a Thursday night. Remember Zebby Lethridge?
Yep.
Or Byron Hanspard?
Nice.
And Nebraska beat them. And the students who were located near the Nebraska bench, they would throw tortillas on the field. I think it was also the game where the horse ran into the wall and died.
Oh.
Or maybe it was the next game. So
yeah,
they
I
have,
remember that Thursday night game. I
they
don't
have
remember
double
that
T or whatever the thing is called, the horse, and it got spooked and it ran right into a wall and died on the field.
Oh, great. Nice.
That's when you're looking for like some positive signs before a game. If you're Texas Tech, you see that and you're like, this might not be our night. I don't know if I like this for us.
Can we go ahead and postpone?
Yeah. Let's kick that can down the road. This isn't going to be good.
This is a Twitter account.
Yeah, I don't know where Bonk Team 6 came from, but I really like the idea. At anti-horny Team 6. That's good. I don't know where that came from. The idea that if you are for some reason, being if you're doing that on the air, if you're talking about it on the air or something like that, that you get bonked. Where did that come from? Because I really like that idea. Bonk. Like the dog comes out of somewhere and he just bonks you.
Yeah.
I remember it being
That's
a little bit different.
Okay. You get sprayed down with a spray bottle or
No,
something like that?
no.
Okay.
No.
It was the week before the Nebraska game.
Oh,
in 1994.
When the horse ran into the wall?
Yep.
Like, do you pause the game?
I feel like you do.
Like, because how do you get the horse off the field?
Exactly.
Like you don't bring out the old Animal House where the guy has the saw.
Yeah, right.
Well, it was an exit tunnel that it ran into.
Thankfully.
Yeah,
so
good.
it was not on the field. But I think that's a fair question. Did play continue immediately?
Here comes the glue truck.
Yeah, did they put up like the big sheet like they do like when they have to euthanize a horse?
Yeah.
After it has breaks a leg during a
What
run.
a scene.
Well,
they just have the sheet up and you know what's happening.
According to the Wikipedia page, it says dying instantly.
Okay, that's good.
So,
that's good.
Well,
he did not suffer.
Yeah.
He did not suffer.
They
you got to harvest it.
As
quick.
Joel shared, they also have one of the favorite moments off field for Texas Tech is the guy that rings the bell.
Oh yeah,
he was a very aggressive ring beller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is one of the great.
So he would be on Bonk Team 6.
Yeah, that guy needs to get a bonk or something like that. Needs to be bonked.
What was the horse track where that kept happening? Santa Anita.
The thumbnails of this crossover are
Mm.
going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I don't even know what we talked about, but maybe it should just end.
I've got the list here if you'd like it.
Go ahead, Josh.
Animals and heat.
The guys mocked producer Josh for wanting to cancel Nebraska basketball last week.
Yep.
Coaches who spend the entire game on the floor, the greatness of Sam Hoiberg, discuss the career of Sydney Sweeney, how horny the station is as of late, a potential new business strategy, respecting your elders, why Omaha doesn't garner more hate in the state, the murals of Lubbock, and the mysterious death of the Texas Tech mascot.
That's good.
That's exactly what a crossover should be.
That's good. That's a good
Damn
list.
straight. You got to feel good about walking away from a Monday.
Yeah, it's better actually when the list sounds better than the crossover probably actually was.
Yeah, that list, you could just repeat that again, and
you got to jazz it
pure
up.
entertainment.
Thank you, Josh.
That's good stuff.
I mean, at least throw in there like the word McCord. That'll get people to click on it.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. Oh, and they discuss Kyle McCord.
By the way, Kyle McCord.
And why is everybody so mad?
Is he here? Where is he? Has anybody seen him at Hy-Vee yet?
Is he
Kyle
at Amigos?
McCord wore 6 at Ohio State. Would he automatically be given 6
single,
without trying to earn it?
Is that part of the deal?
Oh.
Is that part of it?
What about the 10?
Because it's now available because Newsom has moved on.
Who's the most notable 6
of all time?
Yeah,
Keith Endzone Jones.
Yeah.
Would he have to ask Keith Jones?
I don't know. Quentin Newsom. Did he have to ask?
Yeah, he plays
Endzone
defense.
Jones?
Kenny Cheatham 6?
Plays defense.
Kenny Cheatham wore 6.
Yes, Kenny Cheatham. Another 6.
Trying to think of any quarterbacks come to mind that have worn 6 at
Maybe
Nebraska?
he want to change it up.
No, Bo Davis wasn't. For a second, I had to think of Bo Davis. I don't know why I thought of Bo Davis.
Wasn't Bo Davis like a 15?
Yeah, I think he was like a
12.
He was. He might have been a 15.
Oh man.
Yeah. Sorry,
I don't know,
Tommy.
That was one of the. Yeah, it was one of the low moments that
Just
night.
remember his
Lubbock.
helmet was abnormally large. He just had a huge helmet. And that entire beatdown, I just remember, gosh, Bo Davis got a large melon.
Keith Jones, Sammy Sims, Darren Erstad.
Oh yeah,
Erstad. That's right. Yeah,
that's Ersty.
Thanks, Dave.
So there's a story that was told like 10 years later about people that were on the offensive side that night in Lubbock that, Callahan sacrificed Bo Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Davis didn't know any of the plays.
Totally
so
normal.
They had to describe what was actually going to happen on a play as it was brought in.
Draw it out on your hand.
And then like the center that night had to explain what he did when he got the ball snapped to him. And he was playing in a college game where Mike Leach was trying to score 100 on Nebraska.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Bill Callahan.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And Bo Davis was done after that. The kid was
When you think about it, it's really not Bo Davis's fault.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
No.
It's not Bo Davis.
Should not have been on the
Got
field.
to be put in a position to succeed there.
He had no idea even to run just a turn and hand it off to run over between guard and center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks. Poor Bo.
Justice for Bo Davis.
Why don't we do a whatever happened to most obscure Nebraska Cornhuskers?
Yeah,
Bo Davis would be one to
Bo would
find
be a good
him.
one. I feel like Santino Panico's brought up a lot
I don't know
too.
how obscure he is. People think about Bo Davis way too much around here. We
Yeah.
always
maybe
remember
obscure,
the Bo
but
Davis
just
game.
guys that we felt maybe were done dirty.
Obscure quarterbacks who we would like to know what's going on. What's his name?
Patrick O'Brien.
That's how obscure.
POB?
is.
POB would be a good one, but I don't know if he was obscure.
Yeah.
He probably got more attention when he left here because of his career.
Probably.
Yeah.
What about was it Kurt Dukes?
Kurt Dukes is always one brought up. That not always brought up, but one that I've always wanted to be like, man, remember how excited people were when Kurt Dukes was going to come here?
There was definitely some really good Callahan era, early Bo era guys that were just like, wow.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
That's a name. And then they were like, you know what we're going to do instead? We're just going to put a running back at quarterback for the rest of time.
Yeah.
And he might win the Heisman. Who knows?
All right. Enjoy your Monday. I can't wait to hear all the slander towards my NFL team.
Well, you never know.
Oh, I think I know.
You never know.
I won't let you down, Gary.
I know you won't. I know you won't. You're teed up, and I will actually probably laugh.
Just going to talk about all the things that we could buy with $700 million today.
Oh.
Is greatness worth $700 million?
Yeah. 7.
If it ain't my money. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
His agency, if you look at their contract, his agency did the Dodgers a huge favor. Like the way it's structured.
By backloading?
They're going to be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
They'll be
But
fine.
like the agency was like, Shohei wants to play with the Dodgers. Here's what we'll do for you.
Some favors.
Yeah.
And Dave, you can talk about it in the media. It's fine.
Nah.
Man, it sucks for the Angels. They're gonna have to watch Ohtani play every night.
Constantly. They probably play each other, 5-6 times next year?
Oh,
nice.
Hey, Ron Washington, welcome.
Beautiful.
Now
That's my
find a
guy.
way.
At least you won't be
Find a
pitching
way
to him.
how Mike Trout will not be intentionally walked every at bat.
Or if he can
Or
actually stay healthy for the entire
he
season.
needs to not be injured in order for that to happen. All right, that's Crossover powered by Every Level Concrete Repair at Omaha and everylevelconcrete.com. It's Monday. We'll start things off next.
That's the Crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
What in the hell is the smell outside?
Yes.
Yes. So if
Great
you are
question.
just going outside
It's money.
this morning.
You know what that is? It's money.
No.
That's manure.
Hey,
You know.
you're in a gots-to-go situation, manure, because it's awful outside.
It is bad. It is bad.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Bright and mild for your Monday with the high today in Omaha 47 degrees. Light winds out of the southwest up to 10 miles an hour. Mostly clear skies becoming partly cloudy overnight. Chilly and a tad breezy. Southwesterly winds shifting out of the north up to 15 miles an hour. A low of 24. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV News Watch 7.
Suicide can be prevented by knowing the warning signs. And most importantly, knowing what to do if you recognize those signs in yourself, a loved one, or even a stranger. There are simple ways you can be there for someone, so they can be here for more tomorrows. Visit moretomorrowsne.org to learn the signs, how to approach the conversation, and where to get help. Or call 988 for help now. That's moretomorrowsne.org.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here with Dr. Lance Kugler of Kugler Vision. You know, it's been 5.5 years since I had my procedure done at Kugler Vision. I remember going in for the eye analysis and finding out, hey, there's something other than LASIK. That seems to be such a misnomer with so many people, but that's not always the case because there are actually 7 forms of modern vision correction.
Sure, yeah, and obviously LASIK is a huge part of what we do, but as technology improves over the years, over the decades, we continue to add different technologies that become better options for people depending on what they need.
Yeah, and one of the things that I found absolutely incredible was the eye analysis process. You want to know as much about anyone's eyes as you can because that's how you figure out which of those procedures are going to qualify for.
Yeah, our eye analysis process is the most thorough evaluation of your eye that you can possibly have. We all have the same goal. We want you to see as well as you possibly can.
Schedule an eye analysis today. You can visit their website, kuglervision.com.
Happy holidays from your friends at DJ's Dugout. Nick Handley here. DJ's is truly an Omaha tradition to gather with family and friends during the holidays to watch sports, enjoy delicious food, and have a great time. And a DJ's gift card is a great holiday gift idea, too. Thank you for voting DJ's your #1 sports bar again this year in the Best of Omaha Awards. DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
It's the Connor Happer Show with Connor Happer and Josh Otson. Let's get ready to rumble.
Licensing of the phrase "let's get ready to rumble" just over the last 7+ years internationally is grossed approximately close to $400 million in retail sales.
Really?
You guys look like, what do they look like, Jimmy?
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
On 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Monday. It is the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer and Josh Odson with you. to come today. We will talk to Mike Schaefer, Sam McKewon, as we normally do today at their normal scheduled times. 11:30, 1 o'clock. 11:30 for Schaefer and 1 o'clock for Sam. Also, a special guest will be rejoined again today by Scott Strohmeier, head coach of Iowa Western football. We'll do that here in about 20 minutes at the top of the hour, as Josh will be gone for the next couple days in preparation for Iowa Western's national championship game against East Mississippi on Wednesday evening.
Let's go.
Wednesday evening. Going for another natty. Josh is going to get another ring, theoretically. And then we call him on Thursday morning and he'll be like, yeah, I haven't gone to bed yet. I'm holding a bottle of champagne.
Hopefully.
I'm excited to watch Easton Stick versus Aiden O'Connell tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I'm gonna hop on this van and drive home. Got to get home in time for Easton Stick.
That's exactly right. How long of a drive? 8, 9?
That's about 8.
All right. To Little Rock, Arkansas. So Stroh will join us. They are in the national championship game playing a school that you may have heard of in the junior college world, East Mississippi Community College, which is coached by a man named Wofford Stevens, who goes by Buddy.
I would,
Buddy. Yeah, I would too. He was the focus of season 1 of Last Chance U, which is a show that Scott Strohmeier famously loves.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna make him play the hits and okay.
We're gonna make him talk about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna make him talk about it. And yeah. So sorry, Stroh. But you got 20 minutes to prepare yourself for that. So that is the lineup powered by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. We will follow Nebraska's pursuit of a quarterback in the transfer portal. I have a few things to say about that. Kyle McCord and Julian Fleming will be here this week at some point. There's some buzz around, is there going to be quarterbacks that start flying off the board? There was a few that happened over the weekend. Dylan Gabriel's going to Oklahoma, or I'm sorry, he was at Oklahoma. He's going to Oregon. Here's a few coaching moves over the weekend that I want to touch on as well. We'll talk about last night here in just a second. Chiefs and Bills, and then the Sunday night game, of course, as well. Both the local basketball teams, Creighton and Nebraska. Nebraska basketball staves off cancellation heroically last night with a great performance at Pinnacle Bank Arena, their best game of the season.
A launching pad, perhaps?
Maybe. I have a caveat with that. We'll talk about that during the show. And then Creighton beat one of the worst teams that I've ever seen. I guess it's not whatever North Dakota State played over the weekend, but that was a bad basketball team that they played in Central Michigan, and they got revenge for the 03 Chris Kaman game.
Oh, that's right.
Kyle Korver's last game of his college career. So Creighton won by like 50 on Saturday.
Most points since 2018.
Yeah,
something like that.
It was staggeringly easy. There's a couple things that I want to talk about there with the Blue Jays. $700 million for Shohei Ohtani. We had a Heisman winner, and then we'll check the latest in recruiting news and updates and things like that as well. Okay, we are off and running. If you want to get in touch with the show, 402-951-1620. We would love to hear from you guys on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. At Connor Happer, at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. We say good morning to our YouTube watchers this morning who are wondering where we can watch the Iowa Western game on Wednesday. And Josh has promptly told them ESPNU. ESPNU. They're also wondering why isn't Nebraska getting any Iowa Western quarterbacks or players ever?
A lot of D linemen that might fit in.
Josh cannot answer that question.
I cannot.
All right. So we'll have Stroh at the top of the hour. Come back. We'll talk a little bit about the Chiefs from last night.
We won't disrespect them.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay. Just let me set the tone for this from the text line from the 402. Please, for the love of God, can we announce that the Chiefs are done?
Whoa.
I love every second of this. Mahomes is breaking down, showing his true crybaby colors, and now his family members aren't the only self-absorbed losers. I am disrespecting the Chiefs and can't wait for a first-round exit. To all Chiefs fans, go to hell.
Whoa.
Signed, a fan from another team.
That was pretty evident.
Yeah, he didn't name himself in that one. So that'll set the tone, prime up our Chiefs fans and the local listening audience. We'll come back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Now live on Twitch, YouTube, and 1620thezone.com.
If you think you're having transmission problems, you need a specialist, someone who can and will tell you exactly what's wrong. At Omaha Transmission, that's what we do. Some places just want to sell you a new transmission, but at Omaha Transmission, we make repairs that other shops can't or won't. Giving you options is what's kept us in business since 2005. We've even had people hear our ads, bring in their car, and experience the exact same scenario they heard. There is a place that will diagnose and fix your transmission. That place is Omaha Transmission.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Hey, you. The one on the couch who just told your friend you can't go out because you're busy? Ready to get real about your psoriasis? When your current treatments don't do enough to help control the inflammation beneath the skin, causing plaques and pain, stressing and scratching, it's time to stop hiding and get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
When it comes to protecting your home, J. Stennett Contracting takes pride in ensuring every detail is handled. Roofing, siding, gutters. When it comes to the exterior of your home, J. Stennett Contracting has you covered. This fall, consider gutter guards to block debris and prevent clogs and save you the hassle of regular maintenance. Schedule a consultation today and let J. Stennett Contracting's expert team and durable gutter guards ensure your gutters are working properly in every season. J. Stennett Contracting. We have you covered. JSCRestoration.com.
This holiday season, all your wishes are coming true on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 if your team wins. And if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. You've got Saturday games this weekend. You've got Sunday games. And, of course, your primetime affair on Monday night between the Eagles and the Seahawks. App is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and much more. Visit FanDuel and use the promo code ZONE. That's FanDuel.com/zone and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online, real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable. Bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
As you guys know, I've been telling you that the Buffalo Bills aren't very good all season long. So it sort of pained me what happened yesterday to the Kansas City Chiefs. That they, played in another good game against another good team. Right, Josh? Good team.
Correct.
Another good game against another good team. They've played a couple classics this year. And now they have, much better. Their playoff hopes are still alive at this point. But, of course, we'll focus on the Kansas City Chiefs, who were on the losing end yesterday. And as tends to happen around here when the Chiefs are either really good or struggling, they tend to be the sort of conversation driver. And with Patrick Mahomes and this team, they are sort of a lightning rod for conversation around the NFL. The Chiefs are now 8-5, by the way. They would currently slot in as the 3rd seed in the AFC.
Okay, that's good.
That's
good.
Are, however, just one game clear of the Denver Broncos in their division.
Lost 3 of 4.
So things aren't going particularly well for Kansas City, who we've known the entire season they need help at wide receiver. They've lost now, 4 games at least, pretty much directly as a result of wide receivers just straight up not making plays.
2 specifically from Tony.
2 specifically from Kadarius Toney, and then the Marcus Valdez-Scantling one. And I don't know. I saw a slideshow yesterday, and it was just all of these moments. It's like, wow, really can't help themselves. They look really frustrated, Josh. They look really frustrated.
Yeah, so boiled over.
Let's go to the call. As the Chiefs, they get the ball back with a couple minutes left. And they're down by 3. You're like, yeah, all right, we know how this ends. Josh Allen's just going to be sitting on the bench again. Doesn't matter how many or few receivers Patrick Mahomes has. They'll find a way to wheel themselves down the field. And they decide to run obviously it seemed to be a planned thing from Travis Kelce, where he sort of catches it, runs, and then immediately turns around and throws it about 15 yards behind him to a Kadarius Toney who's wide open for a touchdown.
Do you think that was planned? Because Travis has done that a few times this season where he's just kind of like
turned around and hucked it.
You know what would be really clever right now is if I threw it behind me to another player.
I don't know. It didn't look planned. It didn't look planned, but I'm not sure. Maybe that was answered after the game. Either way, it ended up in a touchdown for Kadarius Toney, and everything was right again with Chiefs world until that play a mere seconds later was called back because of an offensive offsides penalty. I saw the graphic going around today. Offensive offsides. It's the only offensive offsides that's ever been called against Andy Reid's teams in his career. This is all Chiefs fans just using these things as ammunition. So this is what happens in football. You're a wide receiver. You go up to the line. You ever see them when they do that? They wave their hands at the sideline official there. They wave their hands. The official goes, "Yep, you're good." Gives a little head nod, whatever it is. You're good. You may now start the play legally. For whatever reason, that didn't happen with Kadarius Toney yesterday. But if you would have asked the question, the official would have told him, "Yes, you are offsides. Scooch a little back for me. Scooch a little back. We'll help you. We'll help you." It is not, the onus is not on the official to warn him when this is going to happen. It's on the player to check. It always has been, and it always will be. And it wasn't that argument that Kermit the Frog went with after the game. It was, he decided to go with I thought this play was really cool, and you should have just let it count because it was really cool argument, which, wrong argument. Try a different one, Patrick. Try a different one, please.
I understand. This is heat of the moment. You're still very frustrated, but what an insane thing to suggest.
Yeah. Yep. He was talking about hurting Travis Kelce's Hall of Fame chances. Like,
nothing will hurt Travis Kelce's Hall of Fame chances.
He's fine. He's going to be just fine.
The gold jacket is his.
And he wanted to kill the referee. He wanted to kill the official.
If they had not held him back, he would have fought him.
And so and then the game ends, and he's still going on and on and on. And he has to go out and he has to shake hands with Josh Allen, and he's still going on and on. He's like, worst call I've ever seen. Worst call I've ever seen. And he's like, and Josh Allen is very confused. Josh Allen's like, whoa. Like, all right, see you later, man.
Thought you were the nicest guy in the league.
He taps him on the chest a couple times. He's like, okay, you go deal with that. You go do whatever you got to do.
I've been there. My coach is rooting for the terrorists.
He was losing it, man. He was freaking out yesterday. So once again, just so we're all clear on that, that's a penalty, obviously.
Very much so.
You have to admit that. And I think Mahomes was obviously just incredulous yesterday, but I think what he was probably the most mad about is that the official didn't warn the player, Kadarius Toney in this case, that he was offsides. Once again, not his responsibility. And I think in his line of thought, he's saying, all right, he's not warning the player if he's offsides. He must not be offsides, so then you can't call the penalty in that case. I wonder if anybody showed the replay or the screenshot to Patrick after the game that everybody's been seeing this morning on Twitter or whatever, and it clearly shows Kadarius Toney is standing offsides. That, in my opinion, is not in question. It's the process of how they got to where they got to, where they actually ran the play. It was really cool. It resulted in a touchdown, and then it was called back due to the offensive offsides penalty. And I mean, I still don't think it's much of a question. It's always how it's been in the NFL. It's always how it's been just in football in general. But in my opinion, if Patrick Mahomes wanted to argue something, that's the direction, that's the path he probably should have taken, instead of, hey man, I thought this play was really cool and you should have let us just play. Just let us play. Let us play. Like,
you're the face of the league, man. You've got to be the quarterback and just didn't make enough plays today. Just and eat it.
But once again, like, you don't even have to do that. I get it, you're mad. Like, ask questions about the process. Ask questions about, like, hey, if he knew he was offsides right away, why didn't he warn him and then let the play get run? Like, you could go that direction, even though it's going to be still a dead end no matter what. But, like, don't ever go with it looked really cool, so it should have counted. Like, that's just not an argument.
And I get the thing he wants to do is be like, man, get me some help. I need some help. They're doubling Travis, and I just got no one to throw the ball to.
Yeah, I think he's frustrated.
That one guy yesterday, number 6, I think it was, Reed. Couldn't have been Reed. He tried to step up. I'd never heard of this kid until yesterday. I'll try and find his name.
You talking about Rashee Rice?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, he's been okay.
I never heard of him until yesterday.
Yeah, he's had a couple bad ones this year too. Yeah. Not handled the right way by the Chiefs, who are now just 8-5, and they definitely look frustrated, and there was a lot of stuff that's just sort of boiling up for them at the moment. They're kind of hurt too. I mean, Pacheco didn't play.
Sure.
So, like, they're gonna, I could definitely see the route that this may take, which is, they get things figured out, and a wide receiver steps up, or they get somebody, they're able to piece it together just enough and get to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl, and then they're just like, they are having the time of their lives.
Very much still in the cards.
Yelling at everyone.
You thought we were dead.
Exactly. You left us for dead. You said these wide receivers weren't very good. Yep, we did, because they weren't. It's true. Quick phone call from Dale on the 42 Degrees Source hotline. Hi, Dale.
How you doing, fellas?
Pretty good. You?
I'm doing well. I listen to you guys every single day. Y'all do one hell of a job.
Appreciate it, Dale. Thank you.
Now, what I wanted to bring up is this situation about the referees. Now, I'm from the old school, where the referees should let the players play the game. Now, I can understand, being a former player and a former coach myself, that it is the receiver's responsibility to, look up, ask the referee, for some direction as far as where he's standing, and the referees will tell them, okay, you need to back up a little bit. But these referees nowadays, they're killing the product. And it seems like it's something every single solitary week to where it's not making the game any fun anymore to even watch. Now, of course, the Kansas City receivers, they need to get a new set of receivers, or they need to teach these receivers how to hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
But, when you have a player in another game like Myles Garrett, and they won the game saying that the officiating is horrible, these referees need to be held more accountable. Besides, being graded and not being able to referee in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl. Some of these referees need to go because it's not making the game watchable. We're not enjoying it anymore. Of course, you got to add in sports betting and things of that nature. So now we're talking about the integrity of the game. I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that. I'll hang up and listen, and thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you, Dale. I appreciate it. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. It's better than Rick calling in last week and saying how boring we were.
Dale, greater than Rick.
Way to go, Dale. Thank you. So the general, I can get along with the general point of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that officiating / instant replay, / television, all of this stuff throws such a giant blanket over the game in terms of flow. And, I think officials' job has been made more difficult by television and instant replay. I've talked about this a lot. And I think, instant replay makes it obviously harder on those officials to officiate because you slow everything down into slow motion and you could make it look however your eyes want it to look, right? So I think the emphasis, I think their presence, all of that's presence on a football game. If you're truly there to watch the football, like I think most sports fans and people who are listening to this show are probably just football fans rather than like, I want the entertainment and give me like a cool halftime show or, whatever it might be. Like, I think you're probably there for the football.
I'll take a cool halftime show if you got one.
And you care about like the X's and O's and coaching strategies and changes that teams have to make in order to win a football game and development and all that stuff and what teams do on a daily basis, not just the games on Saturday or the games on Sunday. So I'm with you. But we have opened up that box and it's never closing. It sucks.
Not getting that genie back in the bottle.
We're just not. I mean, football, I was talking about this with somebody over the weekend, like sports are a television product. And I really think that's where this all derives from. I know Dale was talking about officiating in particular. But I really do think that's the root of all of this stuff. The sports that we watch is reality television now. And it's not football. So if it is football, but if teams want to get together and just, play, it's going to be a TV product rather than, we're just going to play and make each other better and stuff like that. We're not that far away from like charity exhibitions being put on television and stuff like that. Like, what's the point? They're trying to put their players through situations and stuff like that. So I hate the weight and the presence that television and officials and instant replay seem to have on sports right now. But the genie's not going back in the bottle, like Josh said. It's not going anywhere. This is kind of the way it is. So I hope that sort of answers the question. I want refs to be more accountable too. I know like we're talking about, people have talked about like ref press conferences and stuff like that over the years. I just don't need that. I think that makes their job even more difficult.
They had one last night.
Like and every once in a while they can get the pool reporter to go ask and stuff like that. And usually it's a very straightforward answer. It's like, yeah, we got it right. Yeah. Here's what it was.
I believe the ref called it egregious.
Right. So sometimes it's not that hard. In this case, it's really not. So I don't need that. I don't need to hear the officials talking about it after the games because I think that would just lead to everybody being more mad at them. Ian says that on the Twitter. He says, make officials available to the media when you get in context for why a call was made. It takes away the vacuum that gets filled with conspiracy. I completely disagree. I think the more that they talk, the more that fuels conspiracy. I think the more that they're out there and the more that they are available, the more that fuels conspiracy.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't, in my opinion, I don't think they need to be shrouded in doubt and anything like that, but like the calls are the calls. And when we think one's wrong, Usually the answer for it is it was a judgment call and I just missed it. And usually the officials will own up to that and they'll say, we missed it. They'll go up to coaches all the time and they'll say, we missed it. Sorry, we just blew that. You know, we might get them back on the back end or something like that.
And
but
it doesn't make you feel as good as you want it to.
Yeah. So I hope that answers the question, Dale. Quick thing here.
I assume this is the same thing.
Yeah. So one of Nebraska's targets in the transfer portal, Sam Leavitt, from Michigan State. You know, Sam Leavitt. He is committed to Arizona State.
Big 12 man.
Watch out for them Devil now. So he is off to Arizona State. Another quarterback off the board. The Baylor quarterback over the weekend committed to Mississippi State. So there are some dominoes that are starting to fall into place.
Who said it? Greg Smith reporting that Kyle McCord is on his flight from Chicago to Omaha.
Right now?
Right now.
Are we flight tracking him? Is he flying Southwest?
But the flight track is coming from in the plane.
Can't confirm that Kyle McCord has made it to Nebraska. He's on my flight. That's what Greg said. Yeah. Wow, that's some pretty good reporting there from Greg.
Right. Rock solid.
Let's take a quick break. We'll have Coach Strow next. Iowa Western gearing up for another national championship game coming up on 1620 The Zone.
I'm a fabulous driver.
The Connor Happer Show
I'm one of the best friends you could ever have in your life.
on 1620 The Zone.
I hate you.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
J-Tech Construction reminds you that this time of year, your home's energy efficiency is under tension. Don't let your windows cost you by raising your energy bills this winter. J-Tech Construction will come out and provide you with a free estimate on upgrading your windows and keeping your energy costs down. They have custom-made, energy-efficient windows that keep the outside out with the professional installation you would expect. Contact the official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers. J-Tech Construction, your exteriorexperts.com.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call on the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Looking for a unique gift for your friends and family? Any size gift card will fit every homeowner or gardener on your list. We're your one-stop shop and homegrown headquarters. Rooted in quality, unmatched value. Lanaha Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
The holidays are here. This holiday season, we encourage you to come support our local stores in Omaha. And Westwood Plaza has everything you need to find that perfect gift. Chippy's in Westwood Plaza is Nebraska's only British market and bakery, offering food and beverages following traditional British recipes with ingredients imported from England. Whether it's pies, pasties, buddies, or even butterbeer, there's something for everyone. Stop in for some jolly good treats to make this year's holiday stand out. And a Chippy's gift card is the perfect gift to give. Stop into Chippy's British Market and Bakery, 123rd and Center inside Westwood Plaza. Ahi Sushi Ramen and Grill is an Asian fusion casual dining restaurant inside Westwood Plaza with a wide variety of Asian cuisine dishes available like sushi, hibachi, curry, ramen, and teriyaki. You're sure to find a favorite. If you're planning a holiday get-together, try a party tray from Ahi Sushi Ramen and Grill. Check them out at 124th and Center inside Westwood Plaza. Everything you need to shop locally for the holidays is at Westwood Plaza in Omaha.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know? Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks. even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long. And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
It's obvious. The unthinkable continues. Most Americans know something very wrong is happening. People in charge keep telling you that everything's fine and to stop noticing. But you know better. That's why self-reliant folks are investing in emergency food storage. You should too. My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, are the ones you can trust. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each contains tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Save $200 on each 3-month food kit you purchase. My Patriot Supply also sells solar generators, gravity-powered water filters, off-grid room heaters for when the power goes out, heirloom seeds, and survival gear. Order by 3 p.m. and your items ship that same day and arrive quickly on your doorstep in unmarked boxes. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today. Time is running out to prepare for what's coming. mypatriotsupply.com.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. We're joined now on the 42 Degrees Source Hotline by Iowa Western football coach Scott Strohmeier, yet again gearing up for the national championship game on Wednesday in Little Rock, Arkansas. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How you guys doing? I'm good.
Good. So you've begun the trip. You're stopping in Fayetteville to practice. Is that correct?
Yep, we're about 30 minutes out.
You're gonna get some. Last time I was in Fayetteville, I had Whataburger for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think
we might have to look into that.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion. I had not too much else going on in Fayetteville, I don't think. So let's go back to a couple weekends ago with Kilgore and your guys' route in the national semifinal, 47-7 to get to the national championship game. I guess it went well, and it went well pretty early. Did you expect it to be like that, or I guess did the team sort of show you something that you hadn't seen coming?
Well, I would like to say that we expected it, but you never know. I thought our guys, executed the game plans and really all three phases extremely well, and knew once we wanted to get off to a quick start, and we did, and then with the weather and just the team from south or Texas didn't quite handle the cold as well as I think kind of what we thought. But our guys came ready to go and got off to a good start.
Yeah. How much? I mean, so you mentioned the cold, and then there's something that comes along with the cold that I think it's like the physicality, right? It's Midwestern football. How much pride do you guys take in that? And then you'll get a chance to sort of display it in the national championship game as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, just from our team is made up of Midwest kids, and they play in that type of weather, and if you're not used to it, sometimes it has a little bit of effect, and it's more of a mental thing probably than anything, and open for 30 degrees next Wednesday.
Coach, recently Nebraska volleyball coach John Cook talked about how his team tends to perform better when the stage is bigger, when there are higher stakes. Do you see your team doing that in a similar fashion? Because oftentimes when you're up against a prolific offense, you guys come out there and play way better than we've seen you play against teams that, aren't quite honestly as good as other teams. Do you see your team playing that way?
Well, I mean, I think, we have some very competitive kids. I think they expect to play well. They're confident, and when you get into playoff time, I think our guys they're ready to go. Just with our preparation going into the semifinal game and our preparation up to this so far has been really good. Like from a locked in standpoint, and hopefully we can play our best this week. But I thought last week was probably our most complete game of the year, or 2 weeks, or when we played Kilgore in the semifinal was the most complete game, and hopefully we can move forward and do the same, in this next one.
I think we asked you about this going into the national championship game last year, and so we'll ask it again. The experience factor going into this, and obviously, it's 2-3 year guys in your program. They shuttle in and they shuttle out. But you guys as a coaching staff, you in particular, like, how much does experience matter going into your fifth national championship game? East Mississippi has been there before as well. Like that one, it actually kind of seems maybe a little even or close to it in this game. Like how important is that for you guys to make you feel a little bit comfortable going into this game on Wednesday?
Well, I mean, we're so new. Like, there's not many guys that played in this game last year,
right,
on this team. But I think just more from a staff standpoint and in our preparation and just the travel and the kind of itinerary that we go through, hopefully gives us a little bit of an advantage. But I mean, Buddy Stevens in East Mississippi, he's 5-0 in national championship games. So I think he has a way of doing it as well. And it's been a little while since they've been in it, but at the same time, hopefully last year and the guys that we have that are returning kind of understand it and take the approach, that we did last year.
Coach, 3 straight trips to this game. I tried to verbalize this with some of the coaches yesterday, and I couldn't quite do it. The standard is the standard at Iowa Western, but this isn't normal for a lot of programs to make 3 straight national championship games. How do you kind of explain to your coaches and your players, hey, don't take this for granted. This is a real opportunity.
Well, and we talk about that all the time, and obviously this is the expectation to get here, and it's not easy getting here, and it wasn't always pretty this year, but we found ways to get it done. And like I told our players, hopefully you all get another opportunity, but we've sent over 300 kids to Division I, and we've only had one play in the college football playoff, and have a chance to compete for a national championship. And so don't take it for granted. We're going, like I told them, the team yesterday, I said, we're going to enjoy this because you may not get another opportunity, but at the same time, it's kind of a business trip, and we're traveling down here to win one more, and that's kind of the approach.
Is there any extra motivation going up against the team and the coach that you're going up against on Wednesday?
Absolutely. They got us in 2014, and I know Coach Stevens well. We talk frequently, and they're 5-0, in title games, and everybody knows of East Mississippi and the program that they run, and so absolutely we want to get, and even when the other semifinal game went, obviously we wanted another shot at Hutch, but at the same time, if East Mississippi won, I was okay with that too, because we won another shot at East Mississippi.
Yeah, I was gonna say it really worked out because remember Josh, he sort of brought it to me. He's like, "Yeah, wow, it looks like Hutch is gonna lose." I was like, "Man, that's kind of disappointing," but at the same time, you got it pretty decent coming back on the other side. They're obviously, and I think we've probably talked about this a little bit before. They're known for a certain Netflix show. Do you have any thoughts on that show before you go into this game?
Well, let's just say it was earlier this week. I played episode 1 just to watch a little bit more of it, or go back. It's been many years, but yeah, that show is not exactly what junior college football is about. And I think the thing is, I think Coach Stevens is different than he was back then too on that show. He's well aware of that, but no, I mean I think our program's a little bit different and the way we do things, and there's many ways to be a successful program, and we do it a little bit differently than some other programs, but it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for our guys and our staff to compete against them, and like I said, 14, it was that was our second time in it, and they were really, really talented, and we came up on the short end.
Coach, I want you to hype up your guys here for a little bit. Your team's strength has been the defensive line all year. Clev Lubin and Kamari Copeland, a couple transfers from Army, doing big things for you in that dark side defense this year. Just talk about their leadership this season.
Well, yeah, they've been the rock on that side, and the biggest thing about both of them guys, they're great kids. They you get them from Army. They work extremely hard. They bring a little bit of Clev brings a little bit of energy to the practice every single day. They both love football, and I'm hoping that our depth at that position helps us, and that was the biggest thing going into the semifinal game is we knew Kilgore was good, but we just didn't know if they face as much depth on the D line as we have. And I'm hoping the same thing comes true Wednesday night because those guys, I mean, we're going up against another explosive offense, and we need those guys to get them one-dimensional and let those guys get after the quarterback.
All right, Coach. Well, we're looking forward to it. Have a safe trip down. Enjoy Arkansas today, or the University of Arkansas, and can't wait to watch on Wednesday night. Good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate it. I'm going to try to hook up some Whataburger somewhere down there.
Good call. Yeah. Get the breakfast biscuit or the it's like a butter biscuit or something like that. Yeah, they'll know what you're talking about. Just go in there.
Will do. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, there is Scott Strohmeier, who is the head football coach at Iowa Western. What do they call the biscuit? Butter. I can't remember now. But I tell you, when I went down there for the regional a couple of years ago, I was like, yeah, me and Baz, we went to a restaurant that was in like a basement, and we got a burger, and it was good. But for all the other, I was down there for like 3 days, I think. All the other meals, it was just Whataburger. It's fantastic.
Many are saying honey butter
biscuit. Thank you. Yes, honey butter chicken biscuit. That's what I'm talking about.
Sounds delicious.
It is, Josh. It is. Thank you for recognizing that.
Odd takeaway from the interview, but
the honey butter chicken biscuit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just got to plant the seed. And I got to help out my guy Patrick Mahomes get more business at all of his Whataburgers
in case this quarterback thing doesn't work out.
I don't think he owns that one. Just maybe the ones in Kansas City.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, Buddy Stevens, buddy.
Those annoying stars on their jersey. I got to look at them. Oh my god.
It's interesting. I'm glad he mentioned that they sort of talk, and he would say that he's maybe a little bit different from what he was. Certainly did not reflect well in the documentary called Last Chance U that was put out. And then so they found a really crazy person in a really crazy program. And then I was like, well, all right, what are they going to do for season 2? They found a crazier person in a crazier program.
You ever seen a coach get ejected? I have.
And Iowa Western has a little bit of history with them as well. So I completely understand Stroh. Like, I know that they went to 2 programs and they found 2 insane people, but like I promise you, if you picked a third, you wouldn't. That's not junior college football. So like I think it's been difficult for him to sort of, go against that.
Oh, hey, what do you do? Oh, I coach a junior college football team.
Oh, you know Buddy Stevens? You know Jason Brown?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just like those guys. So there you go. And revenge from 2014.
Yes. The coaching staff will be dialed in, to say the least.
Kansas City Royals handshake meme, Iowa Western football falling short in 2014. And getting revenge at some point. It was 2015 for the Royals. And it'll be this year for Iowa Western. All right. We will take a break. We'll come back. Thanks to Stroh for joining us all season long. We'll have him again afterwards and during the off season, because I know you guys have many questions. Why doesn't Nebraska recruit Iowa? We should have him in, and we'll just like open up that whole box.
Yeah.
One day.
That'd be a good off-season thing, I think.
Okay. We will do that. But up next, Mike Schaefer of Husker 24/7. He joins on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
It doesn't seem like any of us are supper people in here.
I was a supper person.
I was
for a
too,
long
and I
time.
moved away from it. I hate supper. People who call dinner supper call lunch dinner, and these people trigger me. Dinner is only lunch on weekend, on like a Sunday.
My grandmother would call supper a snack between lunch and dinner, and then sometimes dinner would be dinner, but dinner wouldn't be dinner. I didn't understand these etiquettes.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Plenty of sunshine for your Monday afternoon with a high of 47 in Omaha with southerly winds staying light up to 10 miles an hour. Skies stay mostly clear until about midnight when we'll begin to see clouds increase. Temperatures dropping back into the 20s. Cool start for your Tuesday, mostly cloudy with highs back into the 30s. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Having a hard time finding the perfect gift? Do they eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Then get gift cards for Bailey's Breakfast and Lunch, Shuck's Fish House, and Absolutely Fresh Seafood Market. Order online at absolutelyfresh.com and have one mailed or emailed to the recipient of your choice.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. If you have money sitting in your flex plan or in your health savings account, it is time for an early holiday gift for yourself. Ditch the contacts, ditch the glasses for good at KuglerVision.com.
It may be cold outside, but the deals are getting hot inside 42 degrees with our winter sale. We're warming up this holiday season with smoking deals for you, like our premium Kratom starting at $9.99, CBD starting at $10.99, e-juice starting at $14.99. You want a hot deal on Delta? We have them starting at $4.99. Check out 42degrees.com for the source of pipes, vaporizers, candles, and incense, and a knowledgeable, professional, and friendly staff. Buy your mom's house. Restrictions apply. Products may contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Food insecurity is a real problem in my community. I'm helping my neighbors get the food they need by volunteering with Food Bank for the Heartland.
Give back to your community by donating or volunteering. Visit foodbankheartland.org to get started.
Right now, thousands of Omaha families are struggling to escape poverty amid record inflation. But this holiday season, you can help them to find a way forward by giving to the Salvation Army. When you donate to the Salvation Army, you help fill empty stomachs, warm cold hands, put presents under the tree, and more. Join our effort to love beyond Christmas. Give to the Salvation Army today at omaharedkettle.org. That's omaharedkettle.org.
Peerless Energy Systems is Nebraska and Iowa's locally owned and operated authorized solar air compressor distributor. Peerless Energy Systems provides products and solutions for compressed air systems, helping companies in manufacturing, food processing, transportation, auto body repair, car dealers, and more. Driving industry efficiency through service, support, and relationships, let Peerless Energy Systems help you increase efficiency with your compressed air systems today. PeerlessEnergy.com.
Welcome to Guardians.
Yeah, I have statistics to back up that we have people that listen.
Mike Schaefer.
Anytime there's sort of a debate as to who can do something, Happer would always put his name forth, for sure.
Husker 24/7 on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
I could be a star.
And we're joined in the 42 Degrees of Source Hotline by 24/7 Sports Nebraska, 24/7 Sports Zone, Mike Schaefer. Hello, Schaefer. How are you?
I am good. The Vikings are victorious. Nebraska basketball played a complete 40-minute game. I think I'm 4-0 in a pick pool with 2 games tonight. The weather seems nice outside.
It's okay.
Yeah, things are pretty good.
So you are just to clarify, you are happy about a 3-0 win?
Well, you don't apologize for wins in the NFL. But look, my thing is, and this is just me, everybody else can be a fan how they want to be a fan. I like when my team wins.
Oh.
I don't like how they win, generally. I'm not happy about the fact that they only won 3-0. But I prefer wins to losses, and I'd rather be in the playoffs than not be in the playoffs. And so a win allows them to move forward where perhaps they face the Bengals' third-string quarterback next week, and maybe they can get another 3-0 win there behind Nick Mullins. And then they just got to figure out how to win one of their last 3 games. They're basically assured of being in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm ready for Nick Mullins versus A.J. McCarron. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's what the people want. And like the really annoying thing is Minnesota has a good team. They just don't have a quarterback now. Like I sent you a text before this segment.
I was just going to get to this.
A video of Kirk Cousins, and I miss him so much. If they had Kirk Cousins, I think they'd win the division. Honestly. I don't even think – I know they would win that division. They are better than the Lions. I don't even think that's a question from a roster talent standpoint. But without Kirk Cousins, they can't do it.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins is too busy flush with Cole's cash and going to show up on the Manning cast tonight. Great video.
So good. Yeah. The fact that he's turned into America's most likable football dork is, pretty surprising. That Netflix documentary has really changed or docuseries changed how people think about him. And I mean, he's kind of a goofy, funny guy. So I get it.
I was going to say it's true proof that documentaries really work if you need an image bump or something like that. Okay.
It shows you the power of Netflix, really, more than anything.
That's
I don't
true.
think there's a bigger streaming outlet out there. They basically can control everything. If Netflix, like the first presidential election decided by Netflix is going to be like a watershed moment.
Well, we were just talking about, because we had Iowa Western, we had Scott Strohmeier on, and they are playing Buddy Stevens in East Mississippi Community College in the national championship game on Wednesday, and he has some thoughts on Netflix documentaries like Last Chance U and how it portrays junior college football and that stuff and things like that. So honestly, it's a great segue. Netflix is just ruling our minds right now. It's the whole reason why anybody got into Formula One, because they did a Netflix documentary on that.
I'm sort of like, I don't really know that I believe that anybody really likes Formula One, but I think they really enjoy Netflix. Because isn't it like the same 3 companies win every race basically every time?
Yeah, I guess there's only like 5 teams or something like that. And yeah. So it's very stupid. I agree with you, but they did a Netflix documentary about it. So now the golf one did not have the same effect. Still, only the same people who like golf still like golf.
Yeah, but it was really well done. So if you do like golf, I highly recommend it. And then you'll enjoy Joel Dahman as your like favorite random player.
There you go. Okay, Schaefer. Speaking of quarterbacks and not having quarterbacks or having quarterbacks, you have put in a crystal ball prediction on a certain quarterback out of the transfer portal. I believe you are the first, and now all the grumballs and various other things will come in afterwards. Tell us about your crystal ball.
Yeah, well, I put in a crystal ball for Kyle McCord on Sunday. It's not, I'm gonna take people into how the sausage is made. Sometimes you make a crystal ball prediction because you know something is absolutely 100% going to happen. I've made those crystal ball predictions. This is not one of those. This is where I just feel really good about where things are going, using just kind of probability to tell me that Nebraska is more than likely to end up with Kyle McCord based on the following factors. One, he's going to be on campus this week. Could be on campus right now. I don't have confirmation of that, but he's expected to start his visit here today. Two, generally your veteran portal guys don't take multiple visits. They know what they're looking for. They know what they want. They're not going to just take trips to take them. Kyle McCord's played for Ohio State for 4 years, started this past year. Like, he doesn't need to take visits around the country. Like, he is not interested in that. He's interested in hammering this thing out, and I think that's what's going to happen. Here's the other reason. I think Nebraska is going to make a splash NIL-wise this offseason, and I think Kyle McCord's a big part of that. I think Nebraska is going to offer him a package that is more than likely better than what he's going to get at other places, or at least comparable. So, it's a situation where I just think that it would surprise me if he leaves this visit and isn't part of Nebraska's roster for 2024. And so I just went ahead, put that crystal ball in. I feel good about it, but I can't say that it's guaranteed to happen, but I feel pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you that's why the crystal ball comes into play. It's not a guarantee, but you think it's gonna happen at some point. What do you think of him as a player? Like, I don't think we got too deep into this last week when we were sort of setting the stage for the quarterback, events of the week. But like, what do you think of Kyle McCord as a player?
Yeah, it's interesting. We talked last week about how this offense isn't just a quarterback away. And I think that's true, even if you were to get a Kyle McCord, but I think it helps because in the way that he plays relative to a Will Howard, relative to a Cam Ward, I think that he can certainly help your wide receivers by being on time with the passes. I think he's pretty much the polar opposite of Chubba Purdy in almost every way. Where you talk about how Chubba Purdy, everything was improvised. He's not like a system quarterback because he plays out of system. Like, he's going to be better when the play sort of breaks down. He's just running around and doing Chubba things. But he's a little bit less effective if he's just a straight drop back, 5-step drop, balls out, just going through his progression. That's not necessarily his game as much. That is Kyle McCord's game. I mean, so I think Nebraska would be a very on-schedule offense. You'd be playing through play action a lot, something they really didn't do a lot this year. You'd still have the elements of, potentially a zone read here or there, but he's not a very, he's not going to rack up a lot of run yards, but he can also pick up short yardage, red zone. He could do stuff like that. But where you're really going to benefit, I think, is in your passing game and just in sort of the general leadership. I mean, Kyle McCord is a significantly better quarterback, a significantly more successful quarterback than either Casey Thompson or Jeff Sims, the last two portal quarterbacks that Nebraska has pulled out. And so it's like a very odd comparison because he's so different than both of those guys in terms of his success, but also in terms of what he can do for the other guys on the roster. It's probably, there's really almost no comparison to Jeff Sims at all. It's like a better version of Casey Thompson, maybe a little less athletic in terms of the ability to move, but someone who could certainly make wide receivers have a good time in Lincoln. And I think that's great when you're talking about the maturation of a Jalen Lloyd and a Malachi Coleman, Demetrius Bell, who we haven't seen yet, but they're very excited about over there, Jaden Goff. And then, of course, I'm sure we're going to get into this, Julian Fleming expected to visit as well. That's an Ohio State wide receiver, veteran, former 5-star, former number 1 wide receiver in the country as a high school player. He's been injured off and on, and also Ohio State's wide receiver room is so loaded that it's easy to kind of get lost in there. You had a veteran like Julian Fleming who has experience with Kyle McCord. Suddenly that passing offense looks even better.
I was going to say.
It's one of those things where I think Nebraska still has work to do. I'd like to see them get a portal running back. But if they just pick up Kyle McCord on the face of it, that's a guy that would have won them 3 more football games last year at least.
Yeah, I think so too. And so that was sort of the question. Like, how much is and if he is like, this is all, if, but if it's him and if it's Julian Fleming as well, and you also have the development of all the guys that have been around for a year and all the guys that sort of emerged last year, whether it was as freshmen or from other, places, like how much different might this offense look in 2024 than it did in its first year? You would hope completely and totally different.
Yeah, I think it'd be an entirely different offense. I mean, think about what Marcus Satterfield shifted things to with Heinrich Hoiberg in that third game, and then sort of where they ended up in the middle of Big Ten play when you look at what they were doing against Northwestern and then Purdue. So I think that this offense can look dramatically different if you have a guy that is just a straight passer. And the thing about McCord is he's not the strongest arm, but he has a quick release too, so he can get the ball out quickly. And so, there was plays that Nebraska couldn't even really run with Hoiberg or Purdy, where you're just getting the ball to your running back, to your receivers in space, and you're letting them go to work. And so there's just different things that I think he can emphasize. And then the biggest thing is they want to be a play action team, and they couldn't really do that this year because they never really established a run well enough. Their best version of that was on that belly option, which I think Satterfield has a pretty good feel for when to call those types of plays. But you got to have an effective quarterback that can sell it and run it. And I think that's what Kyle McCord would be. I would look for Nebraska, because this is what Charlie Brewer had told me last year when Matt Rule got hired. They will ultimately get to a point where the play action is the most effective play that they have in their arsenal. And that's what it was for Baylor. That's how they got guys like Tyquan Thornton down the field on deep shots and really utilized his speed and his athleticism. And I think that's what they'd want to do with Jalen Lloyd, Malachi Coleman, and guys of that nature.
Here's the reason that I would be excited about, and we ranked our guys last week, and he was my first guy. Now I don't think he's like, the most talented guy in the portal or
no,
whatever.
I think Cam Ward is more talented, but
Right.
I think the problems. There's something else I want to mention about McCord too.
Go ahead.
The problems with somebody like Cam Ward is that then you're looking at him having to be Superman for your whole offense.
Exactly.
And I want to get Nebraska away from that.
That was what I was just going to say, Schaefer.
Yep.
Like that's why he's my number one, is because it almost, and like when you use the phrase like ties a hand behind your back, it's, it sounds bad and it sounds like it'd be detrimental to the offense. But honestly, I want the quarterback run game to just be involuntarily thrown away for Nebraska football. Like there's still places where you can use it as an accent or a curveball to what you're doing. But I think as long as it's there and it's a primary option for them, it's going to be used. They've shown over multiple coaches now, they like to use it when it's at their disposal, and they, in the absence of other stuff that they can do consistently on the offensive side of the ball. I love that idea. I'm in love with the idea of the quarterback run not being a primary thing in this offense.
Here's something else that I think you'll love, and I think people would like about Kyle McCord, and I think this fits along with the Casey Thompson thing too. He will get to Lincoln if he chooses Nebraska and won't be remotely surprised by the media coverage, remotely surprised by the way that he is presented because he's the starting quarterback. But he understands the fishbowl implicitly. And that is something that I don't think Jeff Sims ever understood. I think Matt Rule is starting to learn about it. And, we know what his comments were after that Minnesota game and everything else. But the fishbowl is real in Lincoln. So getting guys that come from places like Texas or Ohio State, and they're familiar with how the media coverage is going to be and what the expectations are when you are the guy at a program that everybody really cares about, I think that also helps a guy like Kyle McCord, because he'll get to Nebraska and he's not going to be surprised by that. He was just a quarterback at Ohio State.
Yeah.
There's something about the experience of having to wear that I think is really important, that weighed down guys like Adrian Martinez and others, because that's not an easy role. And especially when you're not a veteran and you're thrust into it the way some of the young guys have been.
I don't know if you know this or not, but is there any sort of clarity or even an idea of what led to him leaving Ohio State?
The best answer I've gotten is that they wouldn't commit to him as their quarterback for the bowl game, and then they wouldn't necessarily commit to him as their quarterback for 2024. And he has 1 year remaining. I think he looked at it like, I don't want to go through spring ball somewhere where I don't have, a great feel for how this is going to shake out. And I don't think that it's necessarily scared of competition, but I think it was he saw the writing on the wall at Ohio State and looks at Nebraska as an opportunity to start fresh. And not just Nebraska. I mean, NC State, Mississippi State, Auburn, Miami, all of these schools are in there too. But if you notice, they're starting to add their own quarterback, which means there's options coming off of the board, and the dominoes are starting to take effect. And that makes Nebraska sitting in a pretty strong position as he visits here today.
Are McCord and Fleming attached in any sort of way? I know they won't be
No.
visiting on the same day, but like, what is
No.
that level?
They're not attached. I mean, it's one of those things where I think they could each find the value in having someone familiar at a new place, especially at their respective positions. You know, if you're Kyle McCord, you know what a Julian Fleming is. You don't know what a Jalen Lloyd is. So what I mean by that is you know how he's going to run his routes. You know he's going to be where he's supposed to be. You know how he practices, all of those different things. And if you're Julian Fleming, you know what a Kyle McCord football looks like. You know where it's going to be. You know he's going to place things. You know how he's going to be in the huddle. So I think all of that sort of matters. But I don't think they're packaged together. Julian Fleming, I would look at Penn State as the biggest concern right now. Kentucky in the mix, I think, as well. But I think they also just picked up a transfer wide receiver. And I think Julian Fleming wants to go somewhere where he can be the guy. And I think Nebraska offers him that. In addition to, I think Nebraska is willing to pony up an NIL money in a way that maybe other programs won't, betting on that potential over maybe what the results have been these last few years for him.
Any thoughts on our new $700 million man before we let you go?
I'm excited for him. I mean, like, I don't care about the price tag. It's not my money. It doesn't matter to me. I wish it was some other organization. There's nothing remotely fun about seeing him at the Dodgers.
Agreed.
The Blue Jays, like if that had actually happened,
that would have been fun.
The Blue Jays would have been so much fun. The Rogers Center would have been insane. Toronto would have been like must-watch baseball with the sort of talent that they've accumulated with those young guys, and then you throw in Shohei Ohtani. And then, you know, the Dodgers, like, I get it, like, but they've also, like, they've had every single star under. They have Freddie Freeman. They had Max Scherzer. They had Trey Turner. Like, this is just who they are. Like, it's not. There's nothing exciting about Shohei Ohtani walking out in the Dodgers uniform. It's expected. So it's just kind of an eh. But I hope that he's able to get the elbow fixed and be back pitching like one of the best pitchers in baseball and hitting like one of the best players in baseball. But I do kind of hope that he brings the Angel stink with him to the Dodgers, and they just sort of struggle as an organization. I think that's what we need in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, it would lead to this very, very long discussion, the way we talk about like football players and basketball players and their Hall of Fame candidacy. It's like, yeah, he's the greatest player of all time, but he never played a playoff game. So are you saying you want to have that conversation with Shohei Ohtani eventually?
I mean, he could be in a wild card game and pitch, 12 innings of one hit ball, but then the Dodgers aren't able to score and they lose. I'd be okay with that. Seems unlikely.
Mike Trout's been in a whole playoff series. He played against the Royals in 2014. People forget that.
Yeah, I somehow knew that the people forget that was coming there. It's almost as if that's just like baked into anything that gets said around 2014, 2015 baseball.
Maybe. All right, Schaefer, we'll let you go. Enjoy your day.
All right, have a good one. Thanks for having me on.
Mike Schaefer of Husker 24/7. You can find his crystal balls all over the website.
Mike Trout, same number of postseason RBIs as Andy Pettit.
What is that, one?
I would assume that.
I think he hit a home run I think he did hit a home run in that series. In the one in Kansas City, I think so. It was the third game. I think he did hit a home run in that series.
One RBI.
Yeah.
A home run.
Yep. Solo shot. Go Angels.
Caught stealing.
Oh, yeah. He was running the bases like crazy.
Oh, okay.
Guess who threw him out?
Salvi.
That's right. So Max Olson, who I think we're going to talk to tomorrow.
I won't be here.
Josh
tomorrow,
will not be here. We'll I think we're going to talk to Max tomorrow. He doesn't know that yet, but I think we're going to talk to him. He put this out earlier. Top 10 quarterback recruits in the class of 2021 via the 24/7 Sports Composite. Stick with me here. If you notice a theme that develops, let me know. Quinn Ewers.
Quinn.
Caleb Williams. Sam Heward. Brock Vandegrift. J.J. McCarthy. Kyle McCord. Ty Thompson. Jake Garcia. Drake May. Jackson Dart. Every person on that list but two transferred or are transferring.
So you're saying Kyle McCord for Heisman. Got it. Okay.
Well, I mean, there was some good names on that list, that's for sure. But it's really funny to look at. And I would imagine that, you look at the class of 22 in a year, 23 in a couple, like it'll continue to be that same sort of idea. Guys, quarterbacks are going to head into the transfer portal. They're going to try and find the right spots for them. as you know, and we'll get our thoughts sort of straight. I talked about McCord a lot last week, and I think people sort of misconstrued my thoughts on him. So we could talk about him a little bit in the noon hour. I also want to bring you a little bit of this week in baseball. As well.
I didn't expect it.
I have some things for you.
Okay.
We'll get there. But before we do that, Josh has the odd news on 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone's 4-quarter pick'em returns. It's your chance to win $1,620. All you have to do is correctly pick 4 college or NFL games against the spread. Listen to qualify every weekday or enter online at 1620thezone.com. One lucky listener will be selected each week to make their picks live on air.
Awesome.
Go to 1620thezone.com for complete rules and contest details. It's 4-quarter pick'em with 1620 The Zone.
As we end 2023 and look forward to 2024, locally owned John Higgins Weather Guard would like to thank our friends for your continued support and patronage for 35 plus years. We wish you the happiest of holidays and a prosperous new year. And if you're even thinking about replacing your roof, we invite you to make the right call to John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferees.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferees. Make the right call.
Hey everybody, it's Michael here for Ted and Wally's. One of the things that Ted and Wally's does is that go along with the seasons, whether it's the summer or it's the spring or it's the fall, and of course, the winter and holidays, and the holiday flavors are amazing. Let me suggest a couple of them for you. Coffee beignet and ooey gooey cake. You are going to love both of them, and so will your family and friends. Swing by the 2 locations, whether it's Benson, next to Taste of New Orleans, or in the Old Market, and get the holiday flavors today. Grab a gift card while you're there as well, and always tell them Severe sent you.
At Dingman's, we are working for you before you even walk through our doors. Our level of commitment to industry involvement and continuing education is second to none. Through our ongoing involvement, we stay current with all the best repair procedures for the ever-changing vehicle. This includes working with auto and paint manufacturers, as well as insurance companies. Our repair facilities are set up with the latest repair and technology. Our ongoing work is to ensure that when you do need us, we are able to provide you with the safest, best repair possible. Because at Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Dingmans.com.
Creighton Sports Update.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, it's basketball season here at Creighton. So get your tickets and come out and support your Blue Jays. For tickets, go to Ticketmaster.com, go Creighton.com/tickets, or visit the ticket office located at Ryan Athletic Center. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Let me get you up to speed on the service that you need.
At Omaha Transmission, we don't have a warehouse full of transmissions waiting to be sold. We will diagnose and then repair or remanufacture your transmission. It's how we've always done it and how we'll always do it. Treating people the way that we want to be treated is how we do business at Omaha Transmission.
Omaha Transmission, shifting to running smooth.
A psoriasis flare-up can make a walk in the park, well, no walk in the park.
It's that obvious, huh? I've tried so many lotions and creams, but I still have symptoms.
So those don't do enough to treat the inflammation beneath the skin, leaving you with those uncontrolled symptoms.
Makes sense, but what else can I do?
You can get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Make an appointment and, oh, you're already on it.
Hi, yes, I'd like to make an appointment.
Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees. The Source, by your mom's house.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
All right, time for the odd news. Josh will bring it to you for the final time until Friday.
I will, yeah. Someone else's job.
This will be the Peter Man tomorrow.
Peter Man.
Hey, Peter Man.
Sad news due to the sad fallout, I guess, from the Shohei Ohtani signing.
What happened?
We have to retire one of sports' favorite memes, the Tungsten Arm Doyle meme.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's still funny.
It is.
It just doesn't make sense anymore.
It's not going to fit in context. Odds are, over the past 3 MLB seasons, you saw Shohei Ohtani do something spectacular, and odds are the Angels lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
The now infamous Mattomic, Mattomic, on Twitter, in May of 2021, blessed the timeline with the most particular, perfect, hilarious tweet to sum up the Shohei Ohtani experience with the Los Angeles Angels. This article credits them as the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. That's wildly inaccurate.
Used to be true.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, when you add Shohei Ohtani playing alongside 3-time MVP Mike Trout in Anaheim, it was common to see the duo put together a historic stat line or pile up some absurd accolades while losing. It doesn't have the tweet. I would like to read the tweet.
Oh, come on.
Terrible journalism here. Just this past May, the two-way player Ohtani compiled the most strikeouts as a pitcher of any MLB player to ever hit 100 home runs.
You ready for it?
3-1. Yes, Connor.
Every time I see an Angels highlight, it's like Mike Trout hit 3 home runs and raised his average to 528, while Shohei Ohtani did something that hasn't been done since Tungsten Arm Doyle of the 1921 Akron Groomsmen, as the Tigers defeated the Angels 8-3.
Yeah, I mean, that perfectly sums up the experience.
That has gone like viral and reviral about 6 times over the last 2.5 years since it's been tweeted. 14,000 retweets, 67,000 likes. What a time.
We go to Arizona for story number 2. An Arizona woman got a huge shock when surveillance footage showed the thief who stole her backyard cameras was a fox.
Oh no! Somebody alert Michael Bruntz and his neighborhood next door app.
Next door. Esmeralda Urgola of Tucson noticed on Monday that her 3 motion-activated cameras appeared offline. So she checked the most recent recording in the app on her cell phone. 3 videos had documented an entire heist carried out by one single gray fox.
That's amazing.
I saw him sniffing and messing with the camera. I went to the second video, which was camera 2. It caught him with camera 1 in his mouth. And she told the AP on Friday, that's when I knew, oh my gosh, I think he took all of them. Agorola shared video and photos of the intruder fox on Facebook. It didn't take long for reactions to snowball. It also credits the Arizona Daily Star with being the first to report this story as if it were a large baseball transaction.
That's funny. What are you even supposed to do, right?
Because you can't rebuy and put them back because
they're just going to steal them.
Again.
Clearly, they have the ability to steal the camera, so they're going to continue to steal the camera.
She said the cameras were a gift and cost around $200, and she has no idea where they are. She believes them to be in a literal foxhole somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, that's the next step. Like, I would sort of take a look around the property to see, what we're dealing with here. But, I mean, you can use the footage that you have from previous iterations of when the fox dropped by or just the camera to try and track where the fox may be. So maybe it tells me it wouldn't be that difficult to try and figure out, where this thing might be stored, but who knows what it's being used for at this point.
I'm sure you could probably find someone.
This could be a Dirty Mike and the Boys situation.
Oh, yes. We end our odd news today at the International Space Station.
Okay.
Where members of the crew said astronaut Frank Rubio has now been cleared of all allegations. He ate one of the first tomatoes harvested in space. NASA astronaut Jasmine Mogbelli
It's okay.
said during a live streamed event celebrating the 25th anniversary of the space station that the remains of the tiny tomato had been found 8 months after being misplaced by astronaut Frank Rubio.
Oh, so they were accusing him of eating it, and he did not eat it.
Did not eat it.
Yeah.
Our good friend Frank Rubio, who headed home has been blamed for quite a while for eating this tomato, but we can now exonerate him. We found the tomato, Jasmine said. Rubio, who returned to Earth in September, had been the target of joking accusations for months that he had eaten the space-grown fruit. I spent so many hours looking for that thing, Rubio said during a September live stream. I'm sure the desiccated tomato will show up at some point and vindicate me years in the future. The astronauts did not reveal where the tomato was found or what its condition was, but as Rubio predicted, it would be in a state of advanced decay due to the humidity aboard the station.
Yeah.
What are they hiding up there?
What's going on up there?
Why not tell us where it was?
I don't know.
What's the worst case scenario?
Well, maybe it was in a place that was supposed to stay like decontaminated. Maybe.
Oh, it was in our pile of weed that we've been growing.
Maybe. Yeah, I'd like more specifics.
Yeah.
On tomato.
I need someone to find some answers on this.
Also, if he had eaten the tomato, what's the big deal?
What's the big deal?
The tomato's been decaying this entire time. You're not going to use it for anything else.
You clearly know how to grow them successfully.
Yeah, obviously it's a piece of history, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
That's all. But you've already blown it by the fact that it wasn't eaten and it was just sitting around doing nothing.
Astronaut Watney farmed potatoes.
With his own poop.
Yeah.
He ate them all, too.
He ate them.
He ate most of them until the storm came and wiped out everything. That's a good point, Josh.
Yeah.
That's a good point. By the way, I sent you a text about a movie that I watched.
Oh, yeah. I missed #Josh time last night. I couldn't make it. Fell asleep.
Went to bed early.
Yeah. Well, I waited. Not on purpose.
Interesting. I waited all day long just to get to Josh time, just to send you that text message. I figured it's probably no good to text him during the day. So I waited till like 11:30 to send that.
Not wrong. 11:33. Do I have permission to read this aloud
to
the audience?
Yes.
Watched a bad movie this weekend that I hadn't seen before. Focus with Will Smith and Margot Robbie.
Has anybody seen Focus with Will Smith and Margot Robbie?
Some people have. I have not. I've heard it was not good.
It wasn't good, but it popped up on my TikTok a lot, so I watched it. Josh hates when I say that.
Oh, well, no, I assumed that because Will Smith, Margot Robbie in a movie that no one remembers. That's the formula for TikTok.
There were some good, kind of exhilarating parts. Basically, Will Smith is a con man, and Margot Robbie is just a lady. And
she's always just a lady in every movie except Barbie.
Margot Robbie wants to get in on it. She wants in.
You're cutting me in.
I don't want to give it away, but it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. There was some halfway decent acting. My wife asked me during this movie. She asked me this very simple question: do you like Will Smith? And I said, relatively confidently, yes. Yeah, I like Will Smith.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how Will Smith is received by the rest of the public, but I do like Will Smith.
The slap did not ruin Will Smith for me. I still find him to be incredibly charismatic. I'd like him to make better movies, but that's not. I have no control over that.
I guess not. But I'm in on Will Smith.
Adrian Martinez is in Focus.
Correct. Not that Adrian Martinez. Different Adrian Martinez. Yeah, I saw that name pop up on the pre-credits. I was like, what? What am I in for here?
Now,
is Scott Frost here?
Did you watch the movie on TikTok or did you watch it on Max?
I watched a scene on TikTok and then I turned it on Max, as I usually do when I watch movies.
Okay.
You should be thanking TikTok. TikTok, Josh, is now making me watch movies.
TikTok is keeping movies alive.
For me, in my life.
I will admit I've seen a lot of reels, which are just old TikToks.
Correct.
That are, hey, here's 5 90s comedies you forgot about. And it does kind of invigorate me. I'm like, ooh, yeah, haven't watched that one in a while.
And I got every streaming platform known to man, so I might as well just flip it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, TikTok.
Mike says on the YouTube, really? I am not in on Will Smith.
Oh, I totally get anyone saying no thank you, Will Smith.
Is Will Smith polarizing? It kind of seems like it. Do you want to ask a poll question?
Sure.
What do you think about Will Smith?
What do you think about Will Smith?
Or just, are you in on Will Smith? Or I don't know. Find a way. I'll let you architect that one.
Because, I mean, the movies haven't been good the last 20 years, except for that time he won an Oscar.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, What did he win an Oscar for? Pursuit of Happiness?
No, King Richard.
He should have won an Oscar for Pursuit of Happiness.
Yes, Will Smith should have won an Oscar lots of times before he actually won an Oscar.
Yeah, that movie was good.
Remember when he was Muhammad Ali?
I liked Hitch.
Oh, Hitch is a fine
I
film.
liked Hitch. I'm not afraid to admit it. Yeah, I'm in on Will Smith. All right, tell me why you're not in on Will Smith. I would be curious to see the answer. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome.
That is the odd news. Plenty to come in the noon hour. We'll get to the quarterback topics du jour. The basketball from over the weekend. Some Big Ten moves being made this week in baseball. All to come before we talk to Sam McKewon of the Omaha World Herald at 1 o'clock on 1620 The Zone. First, a reminder for you, as the holiday season rolls around, we, Josh, just have a couple more weeks until we are off for our best of week off. We make way for best ofs. But you are invited to vote in the holiday reel rivalry. Most of the beloved holiday films, they go head to head in an epic battle for the title, the best Christmas movie. It's another bracket. Head to our website, 1620thezone.com. And if you enter in some info there, you can play the bracket and you'll have a chance to win some Christmas cash. All you have to do is vote in our simple bracket, the holiday reel rivalry, 1620thezone.com.
The Connor Happer Show.
Who's pitching tonight?
You Darvish, having a great year.
The Connor Happer Show.
I know about that guy.
On 1620, The Zone.
What a mess.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Hey, everybody, it's Michael Schaefer for Ted and Wally's, 2 locations, one in Benson and one in the Old Market. Of course, not open on Christmas Day, but every other time around Christmas, when you need to go grab something for a quick present, whether it be a gift card or a great quart or pint, or maybe a half gallon of ice cream, you do that at Ted and Wally's. Not open on Christmas, but open the other days to make sure your Christmas is very special. All kinds of flavors, over 35 years of experience. Swing by today, whether it's Benson in the Old Market, and tell them Severe sent you.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope, and they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Attention sales professionals. NRG Media is looking for an accomplished business-to-business salesperson who wants to take their success and skills to a new level. Is this you? Our account executives work with local businesses to create marketing plans to help them get more customers. On air, digital, on-site, audio, video, it's all part of what you can sell. A sales career with NRG lets you make a real difference. Get more info and apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
DJ's Dugout Sports Bar is proud to support Creighton Athletics, and DJ's is the official watch party sports bar of Creighton basketball. Nick Hanley here for my friends at DJ's. Watch Creighton basketball on DJ's huge TV walls at 7 metro locations. Plus, enjoy delicious food and a Blue Jay lemonade cocktail, of course. It's an Omaha tradition. Cheer for the Jays at DJ's. Voted Omaha's #1 sports bar, locally in Vietnam, veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
This year, be sure your giving includes the Heart Ministry Center. Located at 24th and Binney, Heart Ministry Center provides food, health care, and a way forward to people severely affected by poverty in Omaha. Your donation helps make all we do possible. Please visit us online at heartministrycenter.org. You can also take a tour or volunteer. You'll see just what it means to be part of the Heart. Heart Ministry Center, dignity for all.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Josh, what's your favorite college basketball metric?
Oh, wow.
What's your favorite one? So Jacob Padilla, Jacob. He joins the show on Thursdays, of course. We're talking about Creighton. Well, actually, he'll be on his way to Tampa probably. He should be.
Is he going?
Well, he should be in Tampa already, I would assume.
Why would he be in Tampa already?
Well, because the game's on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Right? You got to go the day before, at least.
Sure, there's probably a media.
Give the guy a night in Tampa. Thing. At least one night in Tampa.
We all want a night in Tampa.
Don't we just all want a night in Tampa?
That's going up at Happer Show.
That's all I want. Just one night in Tampa. But he tweeted this a second ago. So Creighton's back up to number 8 in the AP poll, which just came out. Here's where they're at in the other metrics. They are 3rd in Bart Torvik, 5th in the net, 5th in Evan Maya, 6th in KenPom, and 7th in Haslametrics.
Okay, half of those sound made up.
Josh, which college basketball metric is your favorite?
Wins?
Oh. You're probably a big AP poll guy. You're like, just give me the AP poll.
I love the AP.
Yeah, you love the AP poll.
Tell me who's good. Why isn't Alabama ranked?
Because they've lost a couple times. That's why.
Don't like that.
Colorado State, number 17.
I like me a KenPom.
You like KenPom?
I like me a net.
I like KenPom too. KenPom is just, if you go to KenPom.com, there ain't nothing on there. You know how long it takes to get to KenPom.com? As fast as your little brain can imagine. It takes nothing to load because it's all just numbers. Every time I go to imdb.com, it breaks my computer in half. And I can't do anything because there's ads and there's videos. Like, you want to do this? KenPom is the exact opposite of that. Poll question. Is KenPom.com the polar opposite of imdb.com? And the answer is yes, by the way. But if you go there, it all works. It's just numbers and letters. That's all it is. And that's all I need. That's a good website. That's a high quality website. I'd never heard of Evan Maya, honestly. The other ones I have heard of. Many people are now starting to go to Bart Torvik.
I've heard of it before, but I mean, come on, that sounds made up.
It does. But anyway, Creighton's back up to number 8 in the AP poll. Josh loves the AP poll.
Oh yeah, love the AP. Love my fellow journos.
Three Big East teams in the AP top 10. UConn's number 5, Marquette's number 7, and Creighton is number 8. All right. Oh yeah, quarterback stuff. So Kyle McCord, Julian Fleming, they're going to visit. Kyle McCord's already here. This is happening.
As reported by Greg Smith.
I do trust the reporting of Greg Smith, who said he was on my plane and we'd landed in Omaha. So I would assume maybe he's listening. Hi, Kyle. Welcome to town.
Say yes.
Hope you enjoy if you're driving, because our signal famously very good from Omaha to Lincoln, and it gets all the way to Lincoln, and you don't really run into any problems. So Kyle, I know you're listening. Welcome to town. Enjoy some lunch today. But really get familiar with Jaguar Jalen. He'll be your new best friend. You remember Maserati Marv from last year. Jaguar Jalen will be your new best friend next year. And there's no pressure. You don't even have to beat Michigan.
Yeah.
You don't want to know. You want to know why? You don't even play them next year.
Great point, Connor.
You don't have to deal with any of that crap.
The whole season doesn't boil down to one game.
In fact, you get the chance to yet again beat Ohio State, just as you did last year when you were at Ohio State.
Little motivation?
Just kidding.
Come on, Big Noon.
No, Kyle did fine last year. So just to straighten out my thoughts on Kyle here. I like Kyle. I think that, and we did our rankings last week, and he was my number 1 quarterback on the board. He is the guy that I wanted the most out of the portal, because I think he answers some questions for me that I needed answered about what else is going on around the team that isn't about the quarterback position. I think that you are really signaling that he's your point guard. You can have a conventional run game that works behind him. You can have some wide receivers that work around him, and he's not going to be a primary run first quarterback. That's what I like about him the most. And that temptation will be gone. That's what I like about him. About him as a player, I think he's a fine player. I don't think I could say really much more. I think he's an upgrade over what Nebraska was doing last year. I think you could have made the case that if Chubba Purdy was going to be the starting quarterback next year, he would have been an upgrade over what Nebraska was going to do, over what Nebraska did a year ago, both from himself, the last 2 games of 2023, and of course the first 10 games of 2023, which was Heiner Carberg and Jeff Sims. I think you could have made the case that Chubba would have done a much better job in 2024 than he would have in 23, or did in 23, excuse me. But Kyle McCord is obviously better than all of that. I'm not blown away. It's difficult to be blown away by anything that he does, whether it's athletically or just as a quarterback. I think he's a fine quarterback. I think he's the right fit for what Nebraska is going to do, and what they're trying to do, if he indeed is the quarterback. I think it'd be great if Julian Fleming came along.
Yeah, you want to be comfortable. We're willing to allow that to happen.
And I want to be careful, because I just
got to be careful here.
I don't think that there's any reason to throw a parade when Kyle McCord commits to Nebraska, if that's going to be the case today or tomorrow. I think it's good. I think it's good that Nebraska addressed a need in the portal. I think for all these people who were throwing flowers at Matt Rule for aggressively pursuing a portal quarterback, what other option was there? What other option was there? They were going to pursue a transfer portal quarterback. That's great. It's good. For all the people that were throwing flowers at them for diving in headfirst in the NIL thing and however much it costs to acquire a guy like this, great. They are doing what they're supposed to be doing. I want Nebraska to win an offseason national championship as much as anybody, but they're just checking boxes right now. This is a good thing. So I don't want to get too overwhelmed with oh man, you got a guy from Ohio State and he's 11-1. They won 11-1 last year. It's yeah, I think he's I think he's a good quarterback. He'll be a good addition for Nebraska next year. I'm not crazy over the moon about it. But he's the guy that I wanted most out of the transfer portal. So my wish is it's like getting a what's the right Christmas gift analogy for this? Because it's not like the socks, because you're disappointed when you get the socks and underwear.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not disappointed.
But those are needs.
Like it's I don't know. What do you get every year and you're good with it? Like you're excited about it. Like a nice new video game. You get a nice new video game every year.
But it's not like the popular video game.
Yeah, it's not like the thing that you wanted.
Like every year my mom gets me a tube of Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah, that's good.
And every year I thought that was not very exciting. It was just something she threw in to, kind of up the volume of the amount of Christmas presents I was getting. And then one year she didn't get me it. And I was devastated.
Yeah.
I did not know I cared about that little tube of candy so much.
For me right now, it'd actually be the socks. I actually get excited about the socks now. I used to not get excited about the socks, and now I do.
You need socks.
Yeah.
It's not flashy. It's not a Maserati. That's for sure.
Also, I probably acquired like 5 to 7 different like shaving kits over the years.
Oh.
Whether it's like a bunch of razors or just like a new electric thing. Like I like those too. I'm happy I get those every single year. So that's what it's like. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
So Star Wars Fiend has a couple questions.
Hi, Star Wars Fiend.
Are you saying Sims over McCord? I am not. Star Wars Fiend. Is Connor trying to say getting McCord is like getting socks? Am I hearing this correctly? No, but I like the socks.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Not exactly. Like Travis says, as a grown adult, I get pretty excited about the new socks and underwear for Christmas. I do too now. Certainly didn't think that way when I was a kid. That's for sure. Chance says, Happer out here hating on Rule today. No, I'm not. I'm not hating on Rule. I'm hating on you guys for like throwing parades when the coaching staff does something competent. We're so used to bad coaches around here doing nothing during the offseason and making only horrible moves during the season that we cannot appropriately contain our excitement when the coaching staff just does stuff that they're supposed to do, like show up to work and work hard and like recruit people that are good at football. Like we can't mentally handle this anymore.
That's right.
That's all.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. So it's not about the coach. The coach is doing great. The coach is doing fine. We don't need to throw him a parade. I think Kyle McCord would be a great addition to the Nebraska football team next year. I think he would elevate the offense slightly. And the fact of the matter is, I don't know how many quarterbacks. Like, we're going to look at the list of guys that were out there in the transfer portal, and he might be one of the top 2 or 3 guys that hits the market this offseason. And like I said on Friday or Thursday or whenever I did my whole quarterback thing, like I just don't think there's no Patrick Mahomes out there. There's no Caleb Williams out there. There's no guy that like seriously elevates your offense in such a way that completely changes your football team and the way you go about your business. And because in the absence of that, Nebraska needed a guy that could fit what they're trying to do and not make mistakes and not turn the football over too much and handle the fishbowl and the pressure and the anxiety and all that stuff. And I think they have identified that person. Now they have to go out and finish a job, and they have to get him, whatever that takes. I am glad that Nebraska's NIL operation is not holding up this process or whatever it needs to be. I'm glad that they're willing to pay the price for the quarterback, whatever it might be in the portal.
Yeah, I'm glad they're
but
not.
I think that was supposed to happen with a place like Nebraska. This is Nebraska, man.
We're not the little sisters of the poor.
Yeah. This is not a group of 5 school.
Yeah.
This is like, they're supposed to pay that much money for a quarterback. If everybody else who's playing in the same ball game as you are is paying that much money for quarterbacks, you got to do it too.
Like, how excited can I be if they get both? Like, can I do a fist pump? Like, all right, got him.
It does.
Can I cheer?
Yeah, you can cheer.
Okay.
Yeah, you react to it however you want to.
Okay.
React to it however you want to.
I don't
want to get into anybody else's business.
I'm not going to go parade, but
it would be a good get for Nebraska if they do end up getting Jeff says on the text line, I'm more impressed with who they were speaking with. The top quarterback transfers shows we do have the NIL operation. Yeah, I guess so. If you were concerned about that, I think maybe some people were thrown off about the way that Rule kind of referred to NIL a couple of weeks ago when he said, "Hey, look, it's $1.5 million, it's $1.5 to $2 million for a quarterback." But like that didn't signal to me that they weren't going to be active in that space. Maybe it did to some other people. It certainly didn't to me. And Dan asks on the text line,
"Hi, Dan.
Where was Sims on the list last year?" I don't remember who I wanted out of the transfer portal last year.
Yeah.
It sort of became clear that it was going to be Sims, and then it was just Sims.
It happened very fast, it seemed like.
Right away. Yeah.
They've targeted on Sims, and they've signed Sims.
Yeah, and like I said last week, retroactively, Sims actually was a good fit for what they were trying to do because they were going to run him like 20 times a game. He didn't stay healthy, and then it didn't work. Right? But Sims, retroactively, that was the right guy. This is the right guy for this time around. And then there will be a new next guy for 2024 for 2025. That's the game that Nebraska's in right now. And I think ideally they want to have a guy who's probably not a 1-year guy ready to start in 2025.
Martin tweets in.
Hi, Martin.
McCord is like getting a PS5 with no game.
You still got to buy the game?
It's cool, but now we have to go get a game for it to work.
I like that.
Like getting other players with him to work out.
Yeah, I'll go with you, Martin. Like, cool. I got the big deal. I got the PS5.
Got the thing I wanted.
Yeah, I got to get an HDMI cord. Something. Big TV. I'm going to play this on my 32-inch TV. No, I get the big TV. Maybe some controllers.
Is Julian a big TV?
A couple games, something like that. Email here from Ross, who I think is an Ohio State guy on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, Ross.
1026 next year in the shoe. Can't wait. I don't think Day will run it up on Nebraska because he likes Rule, but he'll be out to make a point. Usually Ohio State sleepwalks through the Nebraska game, but not next year. I'll be curious to see if McCord is Nebraska's guy, which I don't know. Let's just be honest. We're certainly trending that way. Over the next, he's the first guy to visit. As of right now, he's the only guy to set up a visit. If you see another guy set up a visit, it will tell you that probably it's not going to be McCord, but I wouldn't anticipate that at this point in time. So we're talking about this as if he's already the guy and the starting quarterback for Nebraska in a Nebraska uniform. I'll be curious to see his perspective on Ohio State and what he says about that, and maybe his frustration level with that situation, and get his story from his side. I wonder if showing up at Nebraska was a good place for him to land this year, in part because they play Ohio State next year.
Oh,
I wonder if that went into his thinking.
Scandalous.
I imagine it probably did, So I can't wait to hear from him on all that stuff, if and when this happens. But we're all adults here. It kind of seems like it is. If he's on campus, I think he got a pretty decent shot. Schaefer made a really good point on that earlier. Go back and listen to Schaefer, the Schaefer interview from about an hour ago. He was like, yeah, these older quarterbacks in the transfer portal, they make one visit, and they're not making the visit unless they pretty much know already. They usually don't even need to go. Make the visit, kind of make it official, get all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, and then sort of go from there.
I'm here looking for one giant red flag, and I haven't found one.
Yep.
Except the red flags that adorn the streets of Lincoln.
The big ones with the ends on them. All right. We'll come back. We still got basketball to talk about from over the weekend. Nebraska basketball on the verge of cancellation with a gritty win yesterday against Michigan State.
Boy, they showed me something.
Staving off cancellation yet again. This time they do it on their own, and they don't have to rely on the knight in shining armor to come in and save them like I did last week. Also, coming up next, we'll talk about the $700 million man with another episode of This Week in Baseball. Oh, next on 1620 The Zone. But first, this holiday season, all your wishes are coming true on the FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 if your team wins. Dive into that FanDuel Sportsbook app. Take a look at our slate of games for the weekend or during the week for that matter. Pick a favorite if you like them. Pick a dog if you like them too. But on the money line, $5 there gets you $150 in bonus bets if your team pulls off the win. Once you get into the app, you'll find that there's also spreads and player props and over-unders, and that it's incredibly easy to use. Trust me, I am a frequenter of the app. Visit FanDuel.com/Happer and get in on the NFL action with FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame moneyline wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is not withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Have dynamic divisions. You can literally do that by saying, all right, well, we're going to match up the teams that we have scheduled against each other, and they're in one division, and the other group is in the other side. Hell, you could change them every year if you wanted to, but at least you have structure of this team's going to have the best record on this side, and your tiebreakers are going to work.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Plenty of sunshine for your Monday afternoon with a high of 47 in Omaha with southerly winds staying light up to 10 miles an hour. Skies stay mostly clear until about midnight when we'll begin to see clouds increase. Temperatures dropping back into the 20s. Cool start for your Tuesday, mostly cloudy with highs back into the 30s. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620 The Zone.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Schaefer for Ted and Wally's, 2 locations, one in Benson and one in the Old Market. Ted and Wally's wants to wish you a wonderful and great happy holidays. Make sure you grab a to-go holiday flavor or pick up desserts for pies and cobblers. Great. Over 3,000 flavors over 35 years. Remember, Taste of New Orleans is in the Benson location as well. You grab you some food and grab you some dessert as well. Whether it's coffee beignet or ooey gooey cake, ice cream, hey, out of towners swing by as well. Benson, Old Market, tell them Severe sent you.
At Dingman's, we are working for you before you even walk through our doors. Our level of commitment to industry involvement and continuing education is second to none. Through our ongoing involvement, we stay current with all the best repair procedures for the ever-changing vehicle. This includes working with auto and paint manufacturers, as well as insurance companies. Our repair facilities are set up with the latest repair and technology. Our ongoing work is to ensure that when you do need us, we are able to provide you with the safest, best repair possible. Because at Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Dingmans.com.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Tailgate parties call for burgers, brats, dogs, and whatever else you can slap on a bun. But those burgers, brats, dogs, and whatever else deserve the best buns. And the best buns come from Rotella's Italian Bakery. Crazy fresh, crazy delicious. So for your next party, pick some up at the bakery off 108th and Harrison or at your favorite grocery store. Fire up your grill and get ready for kickoff. Rotella's Italian Bakery, more than 100 years of tradition. Hey, can I get a burger with some cheese, lettuce, and tomato? Thanks.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is Kops. Receive 2 $25 gift vouchers for just $25. Kops makes delicious pizza, fresh salads, and tasty charred wings. For the basic menu, click kopspizza.com. And for the extended menu, visit them at Shadow Lake Town Center, 180th and Center, and the newly reopened 72nd and Jones locations.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Rooferees.
All right, welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Over the weekend, I was at the Creighton basketball game. I just wrapped up my halftime Jays Live, where in the background it said sexual performance the entire time. And then I went to the bathroom, and then I pulled out my phone, and it said that Shohei Ohtani had signed a 10-year, $700 million contract. And I thought, $700 million? We were talking about $500 million.
Maybe 6 if it got crazy high
Where'd
bidding.
that extra couple $100 million come from? Well, I don't really know, but guess what? He's going to be worth it. We'll talk about this a little bit on the back end, but it does lead us to another version of a segment that we like to do when we want to inundate you with stats and figures. It's This Week in Baseball. Thank you.
The rare December version.
Thank you very much. Shohei Ohtani signed a $700 million contract. The gross national product of the American Samoa is $709 million.
These are going to be good.
Last year, the 5 American League Central teams owed their 26-man opening day rosters a combined $638.8 million.
No.
The Dodgers now owe one person $700 million. The 2 biggest contracts in free agent history prior to Ohtani's deal were Aaron Judge and Bryce Harper's, which totaled $690 million, which is less than $700 million.
No rings also.
Before free agent Ohtani became a thing, the biggest total contract for a free agent hitter was $360 million for Aaron Judge, and the biggest total contract for a free agent pitcher was $324 million for Garrett Cole. So the best pitcher and the best hitter contract of all time equaled $684 million.
Well,
Shohei Ohtani signed for $700 million.
He's better than both of them.
Speaking of how good he is, Ohtani's 148 career OPS plus from a hitting perspective, 142 ERA plus. If you know how those stats work, it's basically 100 is average. And so what they're saying is, if you're translating 100 is league average, Shohei Ohtani is 48% better than the average league hitter, and he's 42% better than the average pitcher. The only active hitters with a better OPS plus and as many plate appearances as Ohtani are Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, and Juan Soto. The only pitchers that are better than him are Clayton Kershaw, Jacob deGrom, and Max Fried. So you just signed the 4th best offensive player in baseball and the 4th best starting pitcher in baseball on the same day. Next year, the Dodgers could hit Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani 1, 2, 3 in the order. There's only 4 teams ever that have hit 3 former MVPs 1, 2, 3 in the order.
Okay.
The 83 Phillies, Rose, Morgan, and Schmidt. The 78 Reds, Rose, Morgan, and George Foster. And the 76 Reds, Rose, Morgan, and Johnny Bench.
Big Red Machine.
Big Red Machine again. And they all involve Pete Rose and Joe Morgan. Ladies and gentlemen, this week in baseball. Those are all stats courtesy of our friend Jason Stark from The Athletic, who does the stat dives whenever something significant happens.
Those are amazing. I had not heard a lot of those.
Yep. So $700 million is a lot of money. But so obviously they deferred some of the money to the back end of the contract, and he's allowing the Dodgers to be successful. Oh, how nice of him. Mm-hmm. But I think the big thing here is this. Shohei Ohtani, what he brings in terms of marketing, and I mean, really, honestly, we could just stay on that. Just imagine what the Los Angeles Dodgers are going to do just in the next 30 days on luxury seating and corporate sponsorships. What
Huge.
do you I mean, the salespeople owe Shohei Ohtani more money. It's amazing.
They're all going to be driving Bentleys and Porsches.
Yeah, they're gonna make a quarter of that back in the next 60 days.
Yeah.
So, it's weirdly not that crazy when you think about it. It's only crazy from the fact that we've never seen a contract like it before. And
if you win,
then it's really worth it,
yeah.
Right? That would just put the cherry on top. And this goes without saying, but the day on Friday that we had, which some are calling the gigantic disgrace to baseball or something like that, it was one of the more enjoyable baseball days on Twitter that we've had in a long time. We were tracking a guy's flight that turned out to be the guy from Shark Tank who flew from San Francisco to Toronto. The Yusei Kikuchi party for 50. I don't know. We didn't get an update on that one afterwards.
I cannot wait for the long read in The Athletic about what happened during the free agency meetings and specifically what happened on Friday.
And then there was the Pablo Torre one, which he came on and he said, so here's the deal. His dog's name is actually a reference to the team that he'll be signing with, and that's why he doesn't want people to know what his dog's name is.
Like a week or two ago, he was photographed with his cute dog, and everyone wanted to know more about the dog because it's America, and he would not tell them anything. Why be so secretive about the dog? Well, the dog's name is probably Dodger.
He signed with the Dodgers. That tells you his name is Dodger. Although I'd like to see a dog named Blue Jay just for the bit. Or something like that.
ESPN has just announced that his first games in a Dodger uniform will be on TV March 20th and 21st against the San Diego Padres in Seoul, Korea. They will begin at 5 a.m.
Wait, these are regular season games?
I think first regular season MLB games ever in Korea. So yes.
Wow. Jeez.
Only baseball would have Shohei Ohtani's first game as a Dodger start at 5 a.m. Rob Manfred hates baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for growing the game and everything, but and I know Shohei Ohtani, is from overseas, but this is going to be the most gigantic moment in baseball in a long time.
And no one's going to see it.
And it won't be on American soil.
Rob Manfred hates baseball.
Yeah, he does.
Maybe you re-air that thing at like 6 o'clock the next day. Well, no, there's another game. Just
No, we can't re-airing games never works.
This isn't COVID.
Re-air the game.
I'm trying to help here.
Jeez. Was that previously going to be?
Those games had been announced, I believe.
Okay.
And ESPN said, "Yep, we never air baseball, but we got them."
Dodgers Padres to play first MLB game in South Korea in 2024. MLB's first regular season games in South Korea, March 20th and 21st. The Rockies and the Astros will also play in Mexico City in the end of April.
Less interested in that.
And then the Mets and the Phillies get the London game next year.
I will not watch that.
Can the Dodgers opt out of that?
Can they say, "Hey, we'll go to Korea in April"?
Or can Ohtani just not go?
No, I don't think that's an option.
Yeah, I guess not. Well, that's a bummer.
It is.
Texter wondered if he's got to pass it. Did he pass his physical yet? Yeah, I think he still hasn't passed his physical. The Dodgers haven't announced that yet.
There was talk leading up to Friday that
but
he's got to pass that physical.
But he's not going to pass the physical, right? Isn't that the whole deal? His arm is screwed up.
Yeah.
They just have to be like, yeah, we'll take it as it is. As is.
All sales final.
Right. There's still some curiosity about the situation with his arm right now. Is he going to pitch? When is he going to pitch? Has he had the surgery?
Have they had the press conference?
No.
Yet? Because I would be interested in $700 million. I feel you got him to pitch and hit, right?
You would assume so. At some point in the next 10 years, he pitches and hits. He's heading into the prime, ages of his career. What is he, 27, 28? Maybe he's 29 by now. Ohtani age.
29.
29. He's in the prime of his career. I want to see him in playoff games. He could really spark baseball. He has sparked baseball, but baseball's playoffs have become, something that everybody laughs at in October. Instead, if you get Shohei Ohtani in the playoffs, I mean that really changes the game pretty quickly.
It could do a number for sure.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Coming back, Nebraska basketball and Creighton basketball from over the weekend.
Hoops.
We'll talk some hoops. We'll check in on both of them. I have one thing to say about Creighton is they, pretty ho-hum on Saturday. And Nebraska had a very nice win last night. We'll kind of combine those together before we talk to Sam at 1. That's coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone.
Need a feast to feed the family? Godfather's Pizza has you covered. Build your own feast. Choose a medium specialty pizza, a medium one-topping pizza, and a side, like my new bacon ranch cheese sticks. Freshly baked, loaded with mozzarella cheese, tangy ranch, and topped with an abundance of bacon. Do yourself a favor and build your feast today. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Let me get you up to speed on the service that you need.
Is your car making a howling, growling, or crunching noise? It could be related to the drivetrain, which consists of your transmission, your transfer case, and differentials. Omaha Transmission is specialized in diagnosing and repairing all those components. Don't diagnose it yourself. Take out the guesswork and have us tell you for sure.
Omaha Transmission, shift into running smooth.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn, but not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because mulch. We're cutting prices on power tools, automotive jacks and stands, and portable inverter generators this holiday season. Save in store or at northerntool.com.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
Nebraska basketball back from the depths of cancellation.
For
one
now.
Josh Odson. No, you tried. You tried. And one brave man had to step in and stop you from doing something that you couldn't undo. And boy, aren't you glad that guy showed up, Josh?
Well, I mean, many are saying that I did call it a show me something game, and they in fact showed me something.
Yeah, but it wasn't going to be a show me something game.
It wasn't.
It was going to be a full on, it doesn't matter game because you're canceled game.
True. They were on the verge of cancellation, and
But
they
a-
still might be.
A brave hero had to step in, and that was me last
Thank
week.
you, Connor.
You are
Thank
very
you,
welcome,
Connor.
Yes, anytime. I'm happy to do so. I'd like to stand up for what's right. Here's what I'll tell you, Josh, and here's the little secret about Nebraska basketball. This is what you need to know. That was for sure their best game of the season last night. It was complete 40 minutes. They didn't really fall asleep for much. They kind of went toe to toe with a pretty talented, I don't know how good they are, but they're talented Michigan State team. And they're really, athletic, as you could see. They made a couple more plays in them down the stretch. But here's the key with them. If you're thinking about cancellation going forward, Josh, here's what you need to know.
Okay. This is important for me.
I have never had a problem with Nebraska basketball teams under Fred Hoiberg when their backs have been against the wall. They always seem to respond when you are when you leave them for dead. They're like, nope, here we go. We're gonna here we go. We're gonna show up today. Or they're gonna Dak Prescott it. That has been a routine thing for Nebraska basketball under Fred Hoiberg. You leave them for dead and they show up and they flip the script. The problems have shown up when everyone tells them how good they are or when they do something well.
Okay. Yeah, everybody was riding high after the Pentagon game against a really bad Oregon State team.
They started 7-0. And they played horribly against Creighton. They played a great first half against Minnesota. They played a horrible second half against Minnesota, one of the worst halves I've ever seen. And then people left them for dead after the Minnesota game, and deservedly so, rightfully so, right? And they show up and they put together one of their best performances of the year, probably their best performance of the year to date against Michigan State. So then there's sort of like a recalibration that needs to happen. Kansas State's coming up, and then you go back into the non-conference for a couple gimmies over Christmas and New Year's. And then Indiana's really your next competitive game after the New Year on the 3rd. So the K-State one will be big, and I'm not sure where they sit right now, right? Maybe it's all right, you feel like you're fixed and you've done something a lot, or you've fixed some of the problems that ailed you in the second half against Minnesota, and then you could kind of just flush Creighton out of the way. But like I said, I've whenever you're thinking about canceling them next, Josh, because there will be more moments this season where you will have the opportunity to cancel them.
I'm glad you agree.
Think twice, because when you leave them for dead, they come back. But how long can they keep it going? That's the question. So offensively, they've done a pretty good job. Defensively, it's left a little bit to be desired. But they played tough enough and they played hard enough last night in order to win the game. And once again, I'll just hit all the bullet points that I usually do with Nebraska basketball. That and Sam Hoiberg. I keep telling you guys this. Why won't you listen?
Do the Sam Hoiberg.
Why won't you listen to me? Sam Hoiberg is one of the most important players in this team. I don't know why people keep like wanting to not play him or like whatever the deal is with Sam Hoiberg. He needs to be on the floor. Sam Hoiberg is like one of their most important players. And Nebraska doesn't really have a best player right now. Like Tominaga is not, first of all of them are like dead tired at the moment.
Why is that?
That was pretty evident last night. I just think Michigan State's athleticism was kind of like way over the top for what they've seen so far. You get a week off, you don't play till Sunday. But like Tominaga just doesn't quite have his legs underneath him yet. Gary makes plays at times. Mast is, I think adjusting and doing so well to people being physical with him and playing against Big Ten bodies. And he adjusted a little bit last night. He was really good last night on the boards. But they don't have a best player yet. And so you just need guys to be really, really good in their roles. Sam Hoiberg is always really, really good in his role. I think Sam Hoiberg is like one of their most important players. He always gives them a spark. And now he's passed up another guard for playing time. He's gonna, he was there instead of Boogie Coleman last night. We saw some more Eli Rice. So I think Hoiberg is, gonna play around with the rotations a little bit, which is a good thing. And they have this week off, and they play Sunday at the old Octagon of Doom. That's for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah. The Bromledge. Jimmy's here.
Co-host of Unsportsmanlike Conduct today, Jimmy Allen.
Oh, really?
Yes.
With who? Who are we missing?
We will have him and John Bishop together this afternoon.
What happened to Josh Peterson?
I don't have the answer on that yet.
Interesting. Maybe just a scheduled day off after last night's Eagles Cowboys game.
Load management day for Josh Peterson.
Interesting. He says Sam Hoiberg is to Nebraska what Francisco Farabello is to Creighton. He's their energy guy off the bench. He might be the most important piece of that team. I guess so. Like I see what you're saying. Like Farabello is important, but for him, like it's about for Creighton's bench guys, it's about like not screwing up.
Mm-hmm.
For Nebraska needs a lift from their bench, right? And I think Hoiberg really gives it to him. So I don't know, like he elevates them. I think Sam Hoiberg like elevates them. People look at him and they're like, oh, well, he's just, what? He's a 6-foot white guy, plays a little bit of defense sometimes, but I think, he's much more important than that. On to Creighton from Saturday. So they took care of Michigan State. Congratulations on the revenge game from the 0-3 Chris Kaman NCAA tournament game. Kyle Korver's last game of his career. Send that one out to Kyle. We got you. Don't worry about us. We got you. But one thing from them, Isaac Trout and Mason Miller have really elevated in the first few weeks of the season. I specifically want to talk about Trout here because Miller, I know, had been sick. He's sort of always the kind of like spark guy, energy guy on the floor for their starting five. But I want to specifically talk about Trout for a second, who had 17 on Saturday or something like that, 17 or 18. Made all the threes he basically looked at, 5 out of 6. When I saw Trout in the preseason at practice and then early in the regular season or in the exhibition season, I guess, I honestly didn't think that he was going to be able to give Creighton very much this year. What he's done in his development over the last 6 to 8 weeks has been really staggering to me. Obviously, that's a testament to him and just getting comfortable and all that stuff. But it's a testament to the coaching staff as well. I'm looking around, I'm watching practice, he's getting beat up by the coaches because he's not in the right spot. When he's in the right spot, it looks slow. Like he looked like he was probably a little bit heavier than he needed to be coming in off of his 1 year at Virginia. They got him right very quickly. He got himself right, obviously, but they got him right very quickly.
18 points in 12 minutes.
18 points in 12 minutes.
That's good.
And it's not like you need him to play more or anything like that either.
Right.
But if you could bring that guy off and he's going to make everything he looks at in terms of that's just the separator for, that's the position that Creighton is in right now, where they can ask guys off the bench to come in for 12 minutes and
hey, can you just hold this thing together?
Hold it down a little bit.
4 to 6 minutes.
If they get elevation from their bench, then you're going to win by 50, which is what they did on Saturday. I mean, I asked both Isaac and Mac about it after the game, and they both admitted they were like, yeah, his head was spinning, at first. So it's some of it is just getting comfortable and all that stuff, but this is a better fit for him at Creighton than it was at West Virginia. Turns out when you don't practice offense for an entire year, it could be sort of detrimental to your development.
Interesting.
So he has come in and they have that's a piece that is going to be pretty good, I think, because of this pace and the speed at which it has turned for him very, very quickly. Creighton is on the road against UNLV on Wednesday, going to Vegas for a quick one. It's a challenging week for them. And you have Alabama back at home Saturday at 7. Reminder, 7:00. 7, not 1, 7.
Yeah, there was a time change for this game.
There was a time change. Blame TV. People were coming up to me on Saturdays like, why'd that game get moved? Blame television. Always blame television.
Always blame television.
I will give you the number for Fox. You call them and you say, why did you do this? And they will not have an answer for you.
Gus Johnson will answer the phone.
I don't know if it will be him. It is Big Fox, but I'm not sure what his schedule looks like. Maybe he takes a couple weeks off after football. Not sure.
Announcer schedule isn't up yet.
I would imagine it's not. But we'll see what happens with that. Once again, 7:00 on Saturday. All right, we'll come back. Sam McKewon will join next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Schaefer for Ted and Wally's. One of the things that Ted and Wally's does is go along with the seasons, whether it's the summer or it's the spring or it's the fall, and of course, the winter and holidays, and the holiday flavors are amazing. Let me suggest a couple of them for you. Coffee beignet and ooey gooey cake. You are going to love both of them, and so will your family and friends. Swing by the 2 locations, whether it's Benson, next to Taste of New Orleans, or in the Old Market, and get the holiday flavors today. Grab a gift card while you're there as well, and always tell them Severe sent you.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because mulch. We're cutting prices on power tools, automotive jacks and stands, and portable inverter generators this holiday season. Save in store or at northerntool.com.
Come visit Omaha's own little corner of France, Les Voltaire, for mouth-watering appetizers and entrees, plus melt-in-your-mouth desserts and an extensive wine menu. Dinner with your friends for a special occasion, entertaining clients, or just chilling with French wines with your favorite someone, Les Voltaire will make you feel right at home. Reserve their private party room today for the office holiday party or your family gathering. Les Voltaire just off 156th and West Dodge Road in the Pepperwood Village and at lesvoltaireomaha.com. Call now for reservations.
Acura of Omaha has a great selection of new RDXs, MDXs, Integras, and TLXs in stock. Plus, get financing from 3.9% APR. Get the best price in just minutes at AcuraofOmaha.com.
Looking for a unique gift for your friends and family? Any size gift card will fit every homeowner or gardener on your list. We're your one-stop shop and homegrown headquarters. Rooted in quality, unmatched value. Lenaha Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
All right, let's see if we can get a hold of Slammin' Sammy. I'm sure he's busy flight tracking.
Big flight tracker day. Well, I guess
You don't really need to track the flight anymore.
Yeah, it's here. It's landing.
He's here. Maybe track the flight on the way out. See where he goes to after this.
Sure.
Where's he going? Who knows? That's Kyle McCord. So if we get a hold of Sam, we'll talk about him. Of course, we probably ask him about this as well. So I saw this over the weekend. And I'm sure many of you did as well. USC added
on sportsmanlike conduct.
No, the University of Southern California.
Oh,
thank you, Josh. I'm
that
going to be specific about this. Added North Dakota State's head coach Matt Ince to their staff. Here's his title, Josh: linebackers coach and assistant head coach for defense. Which, first of all, amazing title.
Amazing.
Second of all, impressive hire, a Big Ten hire.
Very.
Right? I'm curious to see what else the West Coast schools do this offseason to sort of familiarize themselves with Midwestern football. We were talking about it with Stroh earlier. Like, it's just, the SEC always says it just means more. I would say this about Midwestern football. It's just different.
It is.
It's just different. You have to deal with the weather. You have to deal with some, it's just different. And of course, the style is the style as well. And so I wonder if this could start some sort of trend where, the country is sort of becoming smaller in that way, right? The coaching communities, they always are the coaching sort of trees. They sort of intersect with one another. There's going to be 18 teams in the Big Ten. It's going to cover the entire country. And there's going to be 4 more teams in the league that are going to be in the market for the same types of coaches that Big Ten schools like. Did you see what Michigan State did? They went and stole Minnesota's defensive coordinator right out from underneath them today. Joe Rossi's been viewed as a guy who, that's a key to what they do. And Michigan State, and a new head coach who came from the West Coast, and Jonathan Smith decided, I need a guy who knows what he's looking at, who knows what he's doing. Obviously, he can get talent and who can recruit and all this stuff, but familiarity in this league is really important. So I'm really anxious to see what the other West Coast schools are going to do and how much emphasis they put into, if you hear one of the West Coast coaches say anything close to what Scott Frost said when he got here, which is the Big Ten's going to adjust to us. They're not going to be able to handle our speed and this and that about West Coast football. Red flag.
We're going to play faster than them.
Red flag immediately. Throw it up straight into the air. Bet they're under on win totals. Do that immediately. And for the record, I don't think, because I think all 4 of the coaches that are coming into the league next year are pretty good. And I don't think any of them will approach it that way. They all know that it's going to be a different ball game. So they have to adjust. That's a great hire by USC. Curious to see who takes the North Dakota State job, by the way.
Yeah. They're letting Entz finish the playoff run that the Bison are on right now. Yes?
I would assume so.
60-10 record there with
Not bad.
Potentially 2 to play.
Not bad.
Yeah.
But a super impressive hire by USC. I if you were to ask me, like, okay, out of USC, Oregon, Washington, and UCLA, who's the most likely school to say, screw all this noise, we're going to be who we are?
USC.
No doubt.
And this isn't, I assume, like, fans of the Trojans read this and go, who the hell is this guy? Why do we want him? But good for them for going and getting him and, like, hey, educate us, like, help us out.
So Jimmy just tweeted this at me. I hadn't seen this before. Dan Lanning says Big Ten may have to change to adjust to Oregon's playing style.
Oh no.
Now that's funny coming from him because Oregon's playing style is pretty fit. Like they're pretty physical, like they are Oregon, Washington.
Yeah.
They play pretty close to a Big Ten.
They were hitting
type of style, not necessarily in the offensive category, but certainly in the defensive category. That's an interesting one. The move is something that we're extremely excited about. Obviously, it's a year away, so we're not too worried about it right now. But for the landscape of Oregon and who we are, it's dynamic. It's a game changer because you're ensuring your ability. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Landscape is where we recruit at. I think it's something that we'll have to continue to assess. I know there's big boy ball in the Big Ten, but we see some big boy ball out here. I think our approach will stay really consistent. I think maybe the Big Ten's approach may have to change some for what Oregon is bringing as well. Okay, that's not bad. I'm going to let Dan Lanning off the hook on that one. I'm going to let Dan off the hook on that one. That wasn't that bad because he veiled it with we're already doing some big boy stuff out here, and they are. That's the truth of the matter. So curious to see where these West Coast schools go. And once again, keep in mind, I think the big picture idea here is the country, and specifically the Big Ten, the country that Nebraska lives in, let's call it the Big Ten. It's smaller and smaller. So when Nebraska is out there looking for coaches, or when Iowa is out there looking for coaches, and the first openings pop up in all these years at all these places, everybody's going to be in the same pool, searching for the same things: experience in the conference, ability to develop, understanding of the styles, things like that. And USC did a really nice thing over the weekend. Quickly here, Jeff Sims into the portal officially. I know you're thinking, wow, this happened last week when he was, what was it, Wednesday, where we brought it up to Mitch. He was like, Mitch,
yeah, that's right.
Jeff Sims is expected to enter the portal. And Mitch is like, well, I could have written that article in like October. And he was expected, and now he is officially entered the transfer portal as a graduate transfer. I know there were some over the weekend, not naming names, who were fooled by a fake whatever post. I don't know. I saw it crop up on like Facebook, and they were like, he's going to Miami.
So you know it's real.
How funny is it that he's going to Miami? As far as as far as I knew up until just now, he hadn't even entered the portal yet. So yeah, it's not going to go to Miami. I would imagine that Jeff would. Well, I guess I don't know that he's not going to go to Miami, but I would imagine that the best route for Jeff, if he wants to continue playing football, is to maybe bump down a level. Whether it's, is there going to be a Power 5 school that takes him?
It's not going to be a good one.
Was he thrown 31 touchdowns to 29 picks in his career now, or something like that? That's unbelievable, right? So, and maybe he could convince people like, "Hey, it just didn't work out." It just really didn't work out. It got off to a bad start, and it just didn't work out. I need something a little quieter, not so noisy, not so fishbowl-y, and I need to not get hurt in the first game of the year. That would certainly help.
Either of those Pac-2 schools signed a quarterback out of the transfer portal yet?
You think so?
That might be the biggest spot he could land, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure what his options would be. I'm not sure what his options would look like.
I mean, I wish him the best. I'm rooting for him, but
We'll miss Jeff. I mean, there was certainly ways that it could have worked out a lot better for him this year, and they weren't all his fault.
Right?
They weren't all his fault. But yeah, retroactively, Nebraska's going in they're going to go in a very different direction now. I think with the quarterback position, and like I said, when you think about it now, like it makes a lot of sense that they went with him, given what they thought their offense was going to be last year. Look at what they did when he. I mean, I keep saying this out loud, but let me actually like go to the game. So box score for Nebraska and Minnesota back on August 20 or 31st.
What a fun game. We did big red overreaction that night, Connor.
Jeff Sims ran the ball 19 times. He passed the ball 19 times. And if I remember that game, as much as I want to forget it, most of those 19 runs were designed by him. They were just running them. I like
it worked early, and they seemed to be like, well, we got to get a win here.
Like probably their first 3 plays were probably all just quarterback. They were just quarterback running the entire game with Jeff Sims. And looking back on it now, it was like, oh, that's probably what they were going to do. All the crap about Rule during the summer about how they were going to, make him into a passer and they were going to do this, this, and this. And they wanted to be really careful with the quarterback run game. Yeah. They knew that's what his job was. They were a enhanced version of the triple option.
Sure.
Or whatever. I shouldn't even say enhanced, but like they were going to run the quarterback last year. That's what they were going to do.
I have a tweet from Joel.
Okay, Joel.
Sims to Wyoming. Mark it on the board.
Sims to Wyoming. Mark it on the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Usually don't have listeners that confident in calling their shot.
Sure. Why not? Write it down. I don't know about on the board, but write it down somewhere so we can hold. Who is this, Joel?
Yeah.
Accountable. Hold him accountable. Mustache Adam writes in.
Hi, Mustache.
Jeff Sims, if he wants to go play quarterback, will need to go to a group of 5 school or an FCS school. He is who we thought he was.
Whoa.
We let him off the hook. By the way, this just got tweeted out as well. Our stream, our audio stream, if you are a listener via our audio stream, you're probably like, what's going on right now? I can't hear anything. That's
said you won't be able to hear this.
It's correct. Some planned maintenance. So it'll be down for a period of time. Actually, that's just going to start in just a few minutes here. So we'll give you some warning.
Gasp.
If you're listening on our audio stream, you will not be here in a couple minutes. Find a different method. AM radio, still AM radio, or of course our YouTube stream, which you could find at 1620thezone.com. Very conveniently sitting right there for you. All right. Still plenty of things to cover here. Few things from over the weekend. We could go back on the Chiefs. We could talk more about Kyle McCord if you'd like to as well. Still plenty of things to hit here on a Monday edition of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But a quick reminder here. Actually, this is the first time I'm reminding you of this, so it's really just the first notice. We have a bowl pick'em this year. It's on 1620thezone.com. Make your bowl game picks for every upcoming bowl game, and you can make them through this Friday. You got to have your picks in by this Friday on our college bowl pick'em at 1620thezone.com, and there's a little cash on the side for you as well. Get signed up on our college bowl pick'em, 1620thezone.com.
Previously on the crossover.
I want to hear the thank you at the end of it too.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. When you order a Big Mac at McDonald's.
No, thank you.
Thank you, caller Connor.
Good job, Connor.
No, thank you.
Maybe it was Connor Stallion. No,
that could have been.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Plenty of sunshine for your Monday afternoon with a high of 47 in Omaha with southerly winds staying light up to 10 miles an hour. Skies stay mostly clear until about midnight when we'll begin to see clouds increase. Temperatures dropping back into the 20s. Cool start for your Tuesday, mostly cloudy with highs back into the 30s. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
When it comes to protecting your home, J. Stennett Contracting takes pride in ensuring every detail is handled. Roofing, siding, gutters. When it comes to the exterior of your home, J. Stennett Contracting has you covered. This fall, consider gutter guards to block debris and prevent clogs and save you the hassle of regular maintenance. Schedule a consultation today and let J. Stennett Contracting's expert team and durable gutter guards ensure your gutters are working properly in every season. J. Stennett Contracting. We have you covered. JSCRestoration.com.
The holidays are here. This holiday season, we encourage you to come support our local stores in Omaha. And Westwood Plaza has everything you need to find that perfect gift. Boots for Less inside Westwood Plaza has been Omaha's home for work boots and Western boots for men, women, and children for 30 years. We're proud to offer a discount to our military and union members. Stay tuned for our new online store. Come grab some great holiday gifts at Boots for Less, 122nd and Center inside Westwood Plaza. If that holiday cheer has you feeling blah, stop by Rexius Nutrition in Westwood Plaza, where their goal is to help you lead a healthy lifestyle and in turn, help you look, feel, and live the way you envision. At Rexius Nutrition, we strive to give each and every customer personalized care and service so you can reach your maximal potential. We love nutrition and know it can change a person's life. Come see us at Rexius Nutrition, 121st and Center inside Westwood Plaza. Everything you need to shop locally for the holidays is at Westwood Plaza in Omaha.
Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill serves pizza with an unforgettable pizza sauce, fresh ingredients in unique combinations of bold flavors. Try customer favorites like the 3 Oinks and a Moo, the Mountain Man, or the Upset Grizzly Bear. There are daily specials and menu items like tacos, salads, wings, and burgers. Stop in and check out Timber Creek's family-friendly dining environment while enjoying a popular adult beverage. Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill at 178th and Harrison and at timbercreekpizzaomaha.com.
Tailgate parties call for burgers, brats, dogs, and whatever else you could slap on a bun. But those burgers, brats, dogs, and whatever else deserve the best buns. And the best buns come from Rotella's Italian Bakery. Crazy fresh, crazy delicious. So for your next party, pick some up at the bakery off 108th and Harrison or at your favorite grocery store. Fire up your grill and get ready for kickoff. Rotella's Italian Bakery, more than 100 years of tradition. Hey, can I get a burger with some cheese, lettuce, and tomato? Thanks.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Save big every day during Lowe's 25 Days of Deals. Save $100 on select master-built smokers for the grill enthusiast in your life. Plus, get up to 55% off select smart home gifts for everyone on your list. Order eligible in-stock items by 2 p.m. to get same-day delivery. Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid through 12/13 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Delivered by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Rich Eisen here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Don't miss any of the primetime action this season with Kevin Harlan and Hall of Famer quarterback Kurt Warner on site calling the game. And I'll be on hand from the studio for the pregame and to wrap up the weekend's action. Join us on air and on the free live stream, sponsored by AutoZone for Monday Night Football.
Right here on 1620, The Zone.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Must be 21 plus and present state where lawful to wager. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. First online real money wager only.
$25 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700 visit KSGamblingHelp.com in Kansas, 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana, visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland, visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia, or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Help is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
You want to see the guys on the field decide the game? What a crazy
Let
take.
us play.
What a crazy, like, he's not going to get ripped enough for that today.
He's not, because he's Patrick Mahomes.
But, like, that's not how anything works. When there are rules that are broken, you can't just say, you got to let it go because, you want to see the guys on the field. Just let us play. Like, that was the wrong route to take for Patrick. Wrong route.
Obligatory, you didn't say let him play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we love to do that. Honestly,
I don't care about that.
Yeah, we don't have to do the to do the I told you so or the whataboutism.
The whataboutism, but in the moment he can just be dead ass wrong.
Correct. Which he is. It's okay. Your guy's got to check. It's another like thing in the column. It's another mark in the column for your really bad wide receivers this year.
Just that attention to detail just isn't there this season.
Everyone and honestly, you're standing there at the line of scrimmage and I'm looking at the still shot right now on TV. He's looking to his right. Kadarius Toney is, and he's got to know he's close. Usually receivers are a little further off the line. So you check. You raise your hand just like every other receiver of all time has ever done. And he would have told him, yep, scoot back a little bit. No penalty. You're fine. Just scoot back. Yeah. Wrong way to take for Patrick Mahomes.
Wild quote from him post-game.
So Syracuse, we don't spend much time on Syracuse football here.
We don't.
But they have assembled themselves a nice little staff. Fran Brown came over from Georgia. He's the guy who worked with Matt Rule before. They took Elijah Robinson to be I got another guy who's worked with Matt Rule before to be their defensive coordinator. They've made a couple nice hires at Syracuse, and they had their first big recruiting weekend this weekend. And I think the best thing that Syracuse has done is the following. Yes, they've hired a good football staff and they might be good at football now, but they brought in a 5-star hibachi chef.
5-star?
That's what it says.
Oh, okay. Not one of those 3-star.
Have you ever had a 5-star hibachi cooked for you in the dome, though? Star eyes emojis.
Oh, I have not.
If I walked into a recruiting visit, Josh, and I saw a hibachi chef sitting there waiting in the locker room for me or like at the 50-yard line, I'd be like, yeah, sign me up.
You got me. I'm here.
There is no,
I can just transfer if this sucks.
What is it about hibachi that makes a man so, like, seriously, it might not even be that good, but you go to the China buffet, and if you end up at one of those beautiful China buffets that has the hibachi on the side, guess what you're doing? I don't know. We're going to throw some stuff in a bowl and tell them to grill it up. You go to Hoo Hot, they got the hibachi there.
Is it just the show? Like,
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It might be the show. It's the big spatulas.
I mean, with a black
with the water and
you can do this at your house.
With the vegetables, but there's just something about hibachi.
Now I'm watching this video. I don't see the onion volcano.
No,
that's the deal sealer.
Now
if you're close.
That's what amateurs do, Josh. Oh. You don't need the onion thing.
I agree.
I don't need the onion volcano. Just make me some good hibachi. Throw some stuff on the grill. Put some sauce on it.
I like the show though.
Yeah, maybe it's the speed in which they work. They're chopping up all the stuff. It gets me every single time. I would be a sucker for this. Matt Rule, get the hibachi chef to show up. I know you're not recruiting me, but I'm telling you that, like, we like to think that we're different. We like to, men like to say, oh no, I'm different. I do this different. I think differently about this. We all love hibachi.
So
Have you ever seen the hibachi baby? Have you ever seen the baby that they put the baby in front of the TV and they put the hibachi on and the baby loves it?
Sure. Have you seen the comments?
No.
From this tweet?
No.
It's a lot of, hey, we've got hibachi at insert name of school here. And he replies to it, no, it's hibachi in the dome.
Hibachi in the dome, bro.
In the dome.
Hibachi in the dome. It's different.
This guy.
Do you have hibachi on your 50-yard line? No.
This guy's not flipping shrimp. He's not doing tricks. He's not spinning the egg. He is just cooking food.
There's something about a man in hibachi. And it's just, you cannot. It's like when the fajitas sizzle by you at the restaurant.
They could be the most mediocre fajitas in the world.
They're probably not even actually hot. It's probably artificial sizzle.
Just a little water sprayed on the hot plate.
But there's just something about that a man can't say no to.
Should I have gotten fajitas? You think that for a split second,
yes,
every single time.
I cannot say no to hibachi. And so Syracuse, I believe, has cracked a code that is not specific to football recruiting. It's not specific to anything, but they're going to use it to their advantage because they realize that men cannot turn down hibachi. It's impossible.
I'm not strong enough to do so.
Nope.
Poll question up at Happer Show. Is there just something about a man and a hibachi? Got him.
I got problems right now. In case you guys haven't noticed, I can't really talk anymore.
Good luck gutting it out for 3 days without me.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way. We'll find a way. Peter Man will be here.
Peter Man's got you.
Hey, Peter Man.
He's got takes. Wind him up and let him go.
Somebody was asking on Twitter, what would you do with $700 million? You know what I'd do, Josh?
Hibachi.
2 chicks at the same time. That's what Lawrence said from Office Space.
Absolutely.
On top of Peter Man.
Peter Man. Check out channel 12.
Check out channel 9. Whatever channel it was. All right. So we don't have any quarterback news today. We're waiting patiently for the Kyle McCord visit to come to an end. That way we could get you some final.
You got to give him lunch at the
Hibachi Grill.
Well, if only, but the facility, right? Like, hey, this is.
Yeah, it's only been an hour, I think, or an hour or two. So
when do they go to Runza?
I don't know. It's got to be at some point. I wonder if he stays the night.
Yeah.
Does it go out, or does he just like? I'm curious to see how it works for a like a transfer, an older transfer like Kyle is. Kyle, an older transfer like himself. Like, what do you want to do on your visit? What do you want to accomplish? Do you want to go out and hang out? Because I wouldn't. I'd just be like, yeah, no, I get it.
He's 21.
I've been wooed before.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I've seen. It's funny because we make out 21-year-olds to be like these old people, and they're really not. They probably just like to have fun like everybody else. But they've already done it. They've done the whole trick in their recruiting visits, and now they're probably like, yeah, I want like one specific thing. And my gut says Kyle McCord's one specific thing is he wants to play against Ohio State next year. That's what my gut says. And I think Nebraska checks that box.
That's interesting.
There was probably 1 or 2 other schools that were recruiting him that checked that box, and Nebraska happened to be the best fit. That's what my gut says.
This guy's Insta is not fun.
Oh, no?
No.
He's not doing much?
He's advertising products, which is, great for him. That's what he should be doing, but I want to see this kid live.
Nice. He's not doing any hibachi, is he?
No.
Okay. All right. We'll come back. We have the poll questions on the other side. We'll also tell you what to watch coming up on 1620 The Zone. But first, Santa FanDuel is here.
Wow.
Santa FanDuel is here. He's making all your wishes come true. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook right now. New customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That is a wish come true. $150 if your team wins. Take a look at the slate, whatever it may be for the weekend, whether it's the NFL, you can look at the NBA, now that the in-season tournament is over. Whatever you'd like. Pick a moneyline favorite would be my advice. And then if they win or when they win, and you bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets when they do so. And you get paid out right away, too. That's the beautiful thing about the FanDuel Sportsbook. When you go in there, there's many options for you to bet on spreads, player props, over-unders, anytime touchdown scores, and anything in between. Head to FanDuel.com/Happer and get in on the NFL action with FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame moneyline wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620, The Zone.
As we end 2023 and look forward to 2024, locally owned John Higgins Weather Guard would like to thank our friends for your continued support and patronage for 35 plus years. We wish you the happiest of holidays and a prosperous new year. And if you're even thinking about replacing your roof, we invite you to make the right call to John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferees.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferees. Make the right call.
Suicide can be prevented by knowing the warning signs. And most importantly, knowing what to do if you recognize those signs in yourself, a loved one, or even a stranger. There are simple ways you can be there for someone, so they can be here for more tomorrows. Visit moretomorrowsne.org to learn the signs, how to approach the conversation, and where to get help. Or call 988 for help now. That's moretomorrowsne.org.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
You know that look you get when a loved one opens up a gift and you know that you've nailed it? The perfect present? Well, we have just the gift to get that look. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down to the ground and you never have to touch your shoes. So how do hands-free Skechers slip-ins work? It's like there's a built-in shoehorn in the heel, so your foot slides into place. Find slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here with Dr. Lance Kugler of Kugler Vision. You know, it's been 5.5 years since I had my procedure done at Kugler Vision. I remember going in for the eye analysis and finding out, hey, there's something other than LASIK.
Well, I think it's important to have a full analysis of the eye so that you can make a good recommendation. A lot of the patients that we see have been told over the years, sometimes a long time ago or sometimes more recently, that there isn't an option for them. And I think that's just because they haven't had as in-depth of analysis as they need to know for sure what their options are.
And I think one of the coolest things about that entire process was how comfortable I felt. And I know as I've talked to other people who had procedures done, they said the same thing, whether it was the consultation, whether it was the day of the procedure, all of those questions were answered. And like there was genuine care for me as an individual person.
We all have the same goal. We want you to see as well as you possibly can.
Schedule an eye analysis today, 402-558-2211, or you can visit their website, kuglervision.com.
I'm Sergeant Jones with the Nebraska State Patrol. Driving drunk puts everyone on the road at risk. In Nebraska, over 30% of all roadway fatalities occur in alcohol-related crashes, and every one of those could have been prevented. The decision to give your keys to a sober driver could be the decision that prevents a roadway tragedy. Help keep Nebraska roads safe and always drive sober. This message is presented by the Nebraska State Patrol and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Jaden Daniels won the Heisman. How much of the ceremony did you watch, Josh?
Not 1 second.
Okay, so I just happened to have a few minutes at that time because my weekend was basically over. I did the Creighton game, and that was kind of it.
Yeah, we didn't get into the sandwich yesterday. I wanted to.
I forgot about that.
Many people were talking about it in the YouTube chat.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I apologize to the YouTube chat. Yeah, so I had a whole day yesterday, and I just wanted to make a really good chicken parm. I kind of screwed it up. I went too big on the bread. Mistakes were sort of made. It ended up being good. Like functionally, it was a good sandwich, and it just ended up being open faced because it was like there was too much bread going on there. But I would call it mission accomplished. It wasn't a Sunday wasted, that's for sure.
Close win, not a blowout victory.
Yeah, no. I did not create the best chicken parm sandwich I possibly could. But I did okay.
But you're going to learn from this.
I'm going to learn from it. That's the whole thing. My wife told me that. She gave me a compliment. She said, "You learn. You pick things up." And I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of why I like cooking.
Interesting.
I make something one time and then do much better at it the next time."
You didn't get in front of a microphone today and say that it was the ref's fault and they should just let you cook. Let me cook. We did something really
bread
cool.
should have been smaller. Anyway, I had a moment on Saturday night, and I watched the first, 15 minutes.
Whoa.
And
when they're trotting out all the old Heisman winners?
Yep. So there I saw Nebraska's 3 Heisman Trophy winners. They were all up on the stage. I don't think they miss this. They did honor Mike Rozier, who was having his 40th anniversary, I believe. So that was cool. They briefly mentioned him, and they were all up there on the stage. Johnny looked great,
as always.
And Eric Crouch looked great as well.
He had a primo seat down there.
And then I remembered, oh God, they don't announce the Heisman winner for another hour.
Yeah.
So then I did something else. I think that's when I watched that stupid Will Smith movie.
Okay.
Then they brought all the Heisman, they brought all the finalists out, and Maserati Marv came out. I watched the little feature on Maserati Marv, and they talked to Marvin Sr. and his little brother, Marvin Jr.'s little brother.
Little brother?
Yes.
Does he catch passes?
He will be catching passes shortly. Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
He's probably going to Ohio State.
I believe his name is Jet. And so they were like, "What's it like having a big brother?" And he was like, and Jet was like, "Oh, it's pretty cool. He used to beat me in basketball." And then that was it.
Stupid.
It was like great interview by Marty Smith.
I love Marty Party.
So that's what I saw of the Heisman ceremony.
I saw Michael Penix's suit.
He had a good suit,
and that was my 5th biggest winner of the weekend.
Nice,
because that's a cool suit.
It was a good suit. He had all the names of his teammates imprinted on the inside of his jacket. Very good move by him.
And it was like purple velour looking.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, sure.
Poll questions at Happer Show. Respect to Tom Izzo, yes or no? Yes, Josh.
Yeah.
Respect your elders. 59% say yes.
Most voted on poll question of the day.
Focus, 2015. That's how Josh tells people it's a movie. in Josh terms. I didn't think it was very good, but I enjoyed my time watching it.
You got to watch a movie and you said, "Wow, movies are fun. I love movies."
I didn't think it was very good, but I was happy with my decision to watch a movie. Yes is my answer. 67% are saying no.
One big yes, though.
Michael Severe.
That's right.
Lover of good movies. Are you in on Will Smith? This is a yes for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 69% say no.
Not nice.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I didn't know about this.
Fickle audience.
Don't we all just want one night in Tampa? Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So what? 63% say yes.
Hell yeah.
Is Ken Palm the polar opposite of IMDb?
You know what? I think you made a great case for it.
71% say yes. And finally, is there just something about a man and hibachi?
Definitely.
Yes. 82% say yes. Those are the poll questions. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
We're watching a Monday Night Football, not double header, simultaneous header.
Yeah.
Because the Titans are playing the Dolphins at 7 o'clock on ESPN. That one will be called by Chris Fowler, Dan Orlovsky, and Lou Riddick. It will be broadcast on the radio beginning at 6:30 on 1180. Packers are traveling to the Giants tonight. 7 o'clock start on ABC. That one's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. You can hear that one on the radio at 6:30 on 1620 The Zone.
Very good.
There is a Manning cast tonight.
Yeah, it's like an Overlord Manning cast.
Yes, they will be watching both games, sometimes simultaneously.
And they will be talking to Nate Bargatze.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Will Compton and Taylor Lewan,
The boys.
who signed with Omaha Productions today. So,
oh, did they? Are they off the Barstool thing?
I believe so.
Oh, wow.
And Kirk Cousins.
Hell yeah. That's a good lineup.
That is a pretty good lineup. NBA, one game on TV tonight. It's on NBA TV, 7 o'clock start for the Mavericks and the Grizzlies. Okay. College soccer.
I have no response.
National championship, 5 o'clock on ESPNU. Clemson against Notre Dame.
Oh.
Clemson won the 2021 title, beating Notre Dame in the College Cup semis. So somewhat of a revenge match here. If you want an in, if you want a storyline going in, that might be it.
Might not help.
I mean, probably not. At 9 o'clock on NBC tonight, Barry Manilow's A Very Berry Christmas.
Well, hell yes.
Manilow performs holiday classics and timeless hits like Copacabana, Mandy, I Write the Songs, and Looks Like We Made It.
Copacabana is having a resurgence right now.
Oh?
On TikTok.
Sure.
Yeah. The kids are obsessed with Copacabana right now.
Really?
Yeah.
They have
Her
no
name
idea
is
what
Lola.
they have no idea what the Copacabana is.
They have no idea.
Okay. And
I'm telling you, it's happening. I'm just telling you what's going on.
I believe you. 7 o'clock, TNT, the 1939 classic, The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I haven't watched this in a few years.
Wizard of Oz is a great film.
Wizard of Oz is a great film. Good take, Josh.
One of the reasons we go to the movies.
Okay. Maybe I will watch The Wizard of Oz.
It is also on at 9:15 afterwards, if you would rather watch that airing.
Does it have all the commercials in it? So it will take me 6 hours to watch this
It apparently will take you 2 hours and 15 minutes to watch it.
That's not bad. I could sign on with that. All right. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is what we're watching tonight. And that is the show. But we're probably going to watch Monday Night Football or the Manning Cast or some combination.
Yeah, I'm a Titans fan. I'll watch the Titans lose.
That is the show. If you miss anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover is next.
Live from the Host Coffee